the racks. And get me something of it. Wow. You hear that, Skinny? You can be a horse rider, just like you said you wanted to. Dude, it really is a good horse. You put fucking anything on. Anytime, any place, anywhere. My dad always says, a horse is not strong. That's how you go anytime, any place, in any weather. Take a left Peter out there.
Technically, I'm recording right now.
Look at that, huh? That was on the freaking Nanner show. You need to do a Joe Burns version.
Yeah.
I did the show. Well, I just did a comment at him again, but I guess I said I'm going to be very fucking happy about it. I'm still hurting the last couple times.
No, you don't need to get by there. You just need to be in the show.
My fingers fucking throbbing.
Yeah, you don't need to be subjected to any more pain. You just got to be in the show. Show the people what they want to see.
Usually, honestly, they just want to say, man, fuck up. That was very small potato. It's all clean and dirt, and I don't have the fucking scars there. I really want. I wish the wound was fucking vein. The strength of the finger. It was crushed.
That's why Gary Busey said the same thing.
Gary Busey.
October 1979.
Gary Busey. Some punch your mother apart home. Okay, but
Is that why I have Gary Busey teeth?
you know, he was a tough puncher, very tough puncher. You have seen the Saints.
Seen what?
The Saints.
The Saints?
The Saints. Gary Busey, tough punch. You're right on. They weren't looking, but he did.
Well, why do you have all these clumps of hair, dude? How do you get it up? Look at that.
Oh gosh, you're such a man. You're such a You're the only one.
He's the man.
The matter.
What's the matter, man?
Ooh, fucking Scott. Should be so tough for a while.
Oh, he stole your spot.
Yeah, cry back for
Okay. So Scott, I talk to you once in a while. I'm half that fucking naked, but I show. I will never get deep into Brian's bed. It is I who shall battle that. Brian never let me keep you bad. I'm going to sleep right through. Trust me, I'm on your side. I was handling it, but I'm just.
You don't have to battle bats. You just have to deal with them.
You have a tennis racket?
No, I have a net and I have a broom. My landlord's coming tomorrow and he's supposed to figure out.
You have a broom?
What?
You do have a tennis racket?
I have a broom.
A broom?
A broom and a net.
I have the broom.
The broom's right there.
The broom.
And I have a machete right there too.
You have something square.
Oh, it's not bad.
Pick this up. Can you move it around?
I have broom bat skills. Like, oh. Fuck.
Fortunately, we don't have extra
Little bastards.
unless
Oh,
we
yeah, up they are.
extra headphones. You won't hear the beautiful echo. Ba, 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 ba. We actually might not be able to today. Let me just turn it off. I don't think we need it. Yeah.
What?
You don't have any like that
Cinder blocks?
Oh, you want to crush one with your head?
I don't think you have a go up and break it.
No, I don't have anything like that. Muchacha.
Wanted to put you angle the seat out, have Joe sit in the comfy chair.
Come sit in the comfy chair.
One of my greater things is why I picked Nanner up for the bowl.
Come sit in the comfy chair, Bill.
Yeah, we'll scoot next time.
Nanner, you were there, I think, yeah.
Joe, sit in this chair.
For real though?
Yeah.
You know, we be part of this shit?
Yeah.
I fucking can't hurt.
You gotta put this on too. The wild Joe. So you gotta put your arms in there. Put your arm
Good.
Might be able to make
You what?
good clips
We
out
can
of
break
it.
something terrible. Yeah,
Alright, now we
in.
got
The man of the wild.
and you have to adapt it. It's fucking hard.
Here we go. Well, we're already recording, so
Hey,
let's just make a sound.
People.
People, guess what? We're back.
This is my eye.
In this studio, this is
I have one eye.
our special guest. We've teased it before. I think we showed a video with Joe. And here he is, Joe Farrington.
The wild man. Look at this bear. He killed a bear and he made a vest out of the bear's fur.
No, they really just put this on me. But whatever.
And
Did I say this is the freaking Nanner show? I don't remember.
freaking Nanner show. Freaking Nanner show.
I'm sorry for the angle. We're still in our new studio thingy. And it's not completely set up for guests yet, but we had a special guest. We had to make it happen today. And
When we have some special shit happen. I'm a special kind of guy.
yes, and we have a special
Not
video
so
that will
much
go
shit.
along with this video featuring Mr. Joe Monger. This is our sponsor for today. Cheap whiskey. Expensive whiskey's bottle.
And supporting sponsor, Sailor Jerry's.
Yeah. Sailor Jerry. When you want to sail away, but when you wake up, you want to be under the boat.
Banana boat.
That is Royal Canadian time.
There's no black bear.
And that's,
Last week go.
It's Joe's special day, too.
We haven't even had a person. She coming in, she feeds. She has 3 paws of black bear friend. But she friends. It just happens to be a little color.
Here's a little preview of something you might see later on.
She pisses me off. I just might. I'll give her a good kill. But left.
You just enjoy that. Look at that. That's a preview.
Plus here's that.
That's just a preview of what we're gonna show you later. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
But that's not me. Oh. Whatever that was, I hope I'm not involved in it.
Me too. I really hope he's not involved in it.
Like I do this show, they put this on me. I'm like, I'm being prepared for something. I've already done some pretty weird, nasty shit tonight. Yeah.
He's a wild man.
Yeah.
He's the wild man
And
Joe.
we want to get down to the dirty early on and find out what Joe thinks about abortion laws. Now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned.
Joe doesn't, apply because it's not illegal to have an abortion.
What is it?
Who cares?
What does it make you feel to know that your dog identifies as a they, them?
Yes.
You're gonna have to ask my dog.
How does it make you feel to know that I identify as
She's barely waking up.
I identify as a McDonald's cheeseburger?
Yeah.
A McDonald's cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
And I identify as
I
a
want to
Shake Shack business.
If you identified as a Burger King cheeseburger, you're very lucky because if you did, I would hump your entire body like uncontrollably right now, and I would start licking you, hoping I'm licking some of that.
What?
No, I'm an impossible whopper though.
Oh.
Well, I'm not vegan.
You don't have to be vegan to eat a delicious and subtle
Even my dog
supple.
agrees that they
Supple's the
fucking
word I'm
have
looking for. Delicious
You're
and
sucking
supple,
one
impossible whopper, which saves the environment.
What
So
Mr.
well.
Miller?
It's just this computer. I gotta set it all up. I didn't have a lot of time to do things, so
That makes
have
me
to
feel like a
remember.
little Tandy.
hopefully.
Your impossible whopper ain't going in my belly. That's plain and simple. So,
It's like eating an Impossible Whopper is like sucking the Green Giant's dick.
pretty much it. Something like that.
It's like
Green
taking
giant.
the Green Giant's
Yum.
big old schlongy green bean dick and just shoving it down in there.
Or maybe he does that. Maybe he's got pea balls and he's got little celery stalk.
Either
Yes,
our first
the
guest.
world full of bullshit. Why don't we take anything serious? We're gonna do some stupid ass shit. Well, I'm here. That's what I'm here for.
And I just gotta remember to keep
Oh,
hitting
yeah,
this
in a second.
thingy.
And you
shot.
really don't want to know what's going to be attached. I don't even know what it is. What's going to be attached to my nipple when I come back?
Oh no,
Oh no, he's going for it.
the wild
This is
man.
why we got Mr. Joe Monger. We're making a movie one day. Guarantee it's going to be called Joe Manji.
Mhm.
He is the wild.
And you got to roll dice, and if you
Yeah.
roll the wrong thing, Joe Manji comes out of nowhere, and does stuff.
And
Like,
he can't roll snake eyes because he's
Look,
only
you
got
all
one
can
eye.
hear me. I'm about to come on camera. I don't know how long it's going to last. This is going to hurt like a bitch. I'm not putting this on until I'm about to come over on camera. But this is going to hurt. Here I come.
no, you got
This is a live snapping turtle. Come on, get out of there. Ah! That's a nipple snapping turtle. That's what that is. That's what's happening here. Fucking A. Oh my god. Ah, you bitch. Let go. Alcohol.
He invites you in and then he asks you to let go.
Let's go. Oh my good morning.
Hear the glorious sounds.
It's like the sound of an angel singing.
The dog is actually looking down on him right now. Like this motherfucker. Like, I live with this. He feeds me. Like, I should be going and getting like a dirty bone out of the ground and giving it to him.
Did he let go? Did he let go?
Like I said, a very special episode. We didn't get to talk because he's really drunk. And,
He's wild.
It's his special day too, not technically today, but his special day.
I'll be right back.
And I'll continue. I'll turn this towards me so you can see the actual set back here. Our setup. It's a rough setup, but we're getting there. See all the specialties. All the specialties you got in the freaking Nanner. I mean the who's your Nanner hat in the background there. Skeleton. Ignore the sounds in the background. There's nothing going on. But we got something very special too that we'll probably at least sample today. It's called Backbone Bourbon La Forge. Very pricey. There's still plenty left. We got 110 proof. I think if it's told it only comes out once a year. You can see my selection of bourbons and ryes in the background here. Yeah. What is those weird sounds coming from the back? Yeah, sorry. You see a little broken window in the back there. It's fine. This is going to be our new home for a while. Yeah, don't mind the sounds in the background.
The turtle has let go. The wild man will be back in a minute.
Keep trying to scoot back so we all counter him.
Steven. Oh. Here he comes.
There he is.
Here comes the champion.
The Monger is back.
Catching a snapping turtle to your kitty? Not a good idea. Just under any circumstances, just don't do it.
It's his special day. He gets to do what he wants.
Birthday.
It's my party and I'm crying if I want to. Cry if I want to.
That's what happened.
You would cry too if you had a turtle on your nip too.
Well, I'm going to be coming in and out as, well, apparently the birthday guest star. I am wasted. I intend to get belligerently just fucking wasted tonight. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'll be coming in and out of screen as the freaking Nanner show continues.
Mm-hmm. It's true. We've been trying to secure a Monger since the start of episode 1. We finally secured one.
There will not be.
He's not in his normal
attached to
cage.
my balls, okay? That's for like episode 12.
Unfortunately for that, yeah, that's against YouTube policy.
Good.
You could definitely do it. We just have to bleep it out.
I'd be already down to one ball before I was in trouble enough to be willing to do that. But, yeah.
I'm not sure. I still wonder. I need to get tested. Get my sperm tested. I wonder if I don't have any sperm left.
You used it all?
Maybe.
I wonder how fucked up I really am. Some things remind me I'm in the company of the right group of guys.
Cha-cha.
I need to get my stomach.
I don't know what that means, but that's fucked up.
Oh yeah, that is a good thing coming out too. I don't know how many people like it, but
You can have that.
there's Clerks 3
Tres.
is done, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
sí.
done, and we're just waiting for it to come out.
Oye, papá, payaquica.
And Clerks was an inspiration for me in my entire life. I've seen it probably in like 1990, whatever. 7, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
In the back of a Little Caesars.
I'm not alone either.
That's the Joseph
Yeah.
spot.
That's the other.
Here, come here.
That's the
I'm
other.
not alone. I have a friend that's here
Oh.
Her name is Lizzie.
Look at that little
The
puppo.
girl, Jumper from
Little puppo.
Oh, she just a pop. She just a pop.
Oh, what a cute puppy.
That's my booba.
Yeah. We all got our own puppy. One's got a Maxie. One's got, I don't know, what's the dog's name?
Lizzie.
Lizzie. One's got a Lizzie, and I got a Booba. Buddha. Buddha. I call him Booba. He was already pre-named Buddha. So I had to make my own name. He loves being a Booba.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So all the dogs have had a slight appearance.
Oh, she, nee.
Oh, he's a little baby. Tiny little baby boy. Living on the belly rub up this tiny little baby boy. He's got tiny legs, tiny head, tiny tail, tiny hairs all over his body. He's a tiny little baby, got tiny teeth. He just runs real fast trying to get a squirrel, but he doesn't get the squirrel because he's not very fast. He's got tiny little legs, he's tiny little baby, tiny little butthead baby boy booba. Triple B. Or quadruple B. Butthead baby boy booba.
You don't have to wear that vest anymore if you don't want, Joe. He likes it now.
It's my character.
He's like,
Can I be a future guest?
He's like-
Well, then it's my character. I'm the wild man.
he's Craven from the comic books. If Craven was a drunk
The
fuck.
terrible part.
It's on the chair.
Up my game. Means I need a bigger turtle.
I'll get you one of those 700-pound alligator snapping turtles.
We're just gonna get
No.
I do
Like
have
your
everything. I do have everything. I have everything.
We have all kinds of animals we could latch onto you.
But we talked about it, but one of the shows. Adam Carolla's idea of the attack,
Don't
no, the birds.
I know.
Crows. Attack
Murder
crows.
of the crows.
Getting attack crows.
Especially if you want me to become and get into character. Become a character. Which is, I think that's the best. Old warrior, they're going to say, what the fuck you doing? Like, get into character, bitch. Remember that balls. You get that release form. Get that balls. Get that balls.
We worked with Joe for a long time. I did 3.5 years. Ryan was with him for like 6 years.
Yeah.
So we know Joe very well.
Joe Mangi.
As soon as I walked in the door here, I seen the remnants of Monger. I could see fish guts in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, this is Grand Rapids, Michigan, and there's no bears. If there were bears, Joe Monger would have been dead a long time ago.
Well, there's gay bears, but not real bears.
Yeah, gay bears down the road on Straight Street. Was that Straight Street in Fulton?
Yeah.
Not Fulton. What is the other street? Division? Turns into... No. Is it Fuller? One of those.
Well, I'm sleepy. I'm sorry.
Everybody's sleepy. I worked 5, close to 10-hour days in a row. And one day, which was the day that I uploaded the video, the last video, not the last video, but the karaoke video, I only had like 1.5 hours of sleep that day.
Mm-mm. Not good.
So yeah, we're all a little tired, but I'm trying to keep this going. I got it set to record, but this is like a new program. I got to figure it all out. But I might not even use this one. I might record on something completely different. But this was just fast because I had to get Joe before Joe decides to pass out drunk.
Let's be soon.
Mm-hmm. He's already on run-on sentences. So when you do run-on sentences, you know you're heading towards complete belligerence, and then you go to no sentences, and then you go to
Nanner.
laying down on the floor,
Kiki.
crawling nowhere. But then if you continue drinking as that's happening, then you end up laying in the bathroom.
Her name is Rio, and she dances on the sand. When I grab her, I make my crotch touch on her hand.
Did we ever tell the story about when we watched the Floyd Mayweather fight?
What about that lady?
Yeah. We
No,
might have told it. I can't remember.
I don't think so.
But yeah, we had a night. It was the Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight. And we met at our cousin's house, well, my cousin's house, his sister's house. And we were watching. I had just a little bit of whiskey. It was Dewar's. I was drinking Dewar's at the time. And Ryan, did you have anything or did you just come there?
No, I had drank like a half pint of Sailor Jerry, and then there's my sister's boss had taken a liking to me, and at first I was not feeling mutual about the situation, but she decided to feed me tequila.
There's a side script all. Well, one thing I want to start with is the devil incarnate, which is my brother was there with his girlfriend at the time, which is now his kid's mother, and she is psycho. Yeah. And we all knew that. She was there, and but anyways, there was a bottle of tequila there.
Yeah.
And it was good tequila, like $50 bottle of tequila. Can't remember exactly what kind it was at this moment, but his his sister's dad was there too, Uncle Ray, and some other people. I don't remember. Scott was there, right? I don't remember. Was he?
There's a lot of people there.
I don't know. There were people there, but anyways. So what happened is the tequila bottle got opened, and there was a guy there. I don't know who he was, but he started drinking the tequila. They were taking shots, and then this person decided, hey, I'm going to give Ryan shots because he's hot, and I want him to get drunk, and he doesn't seem drunk enough to bang me tonight, so I'm going to get him drunk. And so Ryan started doing shots with him, and then I don't know how many shots they all took together. And there wasn't many. There's only like 4 people doing it. Mm-hmm. So what happened is his sister's husband disappeared off the face of the earth. They don't know what happened to him after the fight.
Went somewhere, threw up.
Yeah.
Passed out.
There was another guy that spent the rest of the night crawling on the ground and then tried to crawl up some stairs and passed out on the stairs. And then he had to be coddled away. And then Ryan, all of a sudden, started making out with this lady who was a heavy smoker. And she was probably 47, maybe.
In her mid to late 40s.
And she wasn't, completely unattractive. She was fine. Like, if you were at a bar and you were drunk, that's probably what you would go home with. It's like that tier where you go from the hot chick you were trying to get at the bar, then you move down to like, well, maybe I'll hit on the bartender, waitress or something, and then you're like, none of that worked. So, oh, she's over there. She's pretty drunk. I'll talk to her. And that's kind of where that is. And then, last person at the bar, 10th person, they were making out, feeling each other up for probably like 2 hours while we were sitting at a campfire. And I don't think anybody else was drunk.
Yeah.
At that point, except the people that were so fucked up.
But I will say this, even though I got that drunk, she had many occasions offered to do sexual things with me, and I denied her.
So you did get some boob action.
Yeah.
Plenty of boob action.
I did end up putting my hand under her shirt and her bra, squeezing her boobs. But
What the fuck going on here? Fucking sheep and shit?
no,
Oh,
talking about how my sister's boss took advantage of me when I was drunk.
drunk on tequila.
Yeah.
Pussy.
But
You never
anyway-
fucked a sheep.
Listen. But anyway, the guy that was crawling on the ground, that was her husband that she's with now.
Wow.
And I didn't know that. And
She was probably-
recently,
Sure.
we went to my niece's graduation party, and they were both there. And it was really awkward because I made out with her and groped her in front of him while he was on the ground.
Oh, he didn't know.
No, but
There was zero chance of that.
I just remember waking up the next day, tasting cigarettes, and
I drove him home and I watched him. It was actually this home when I drove him home that he was falling against the side of the house trying to get into like towards the end, towards the back fence.
I just remember
We were really drunk.
having this subconscious feeling of dread, like I did something horrible, and tasting cigarettes. And then over time, I've regained memory of the event, unfortunately. But I had, I'm pretty embarrassed by that.
The funny crux of the story is, so everybody in our family that's watching that was there, there was still like this much tequila left in the bottle. And I was like, that shit fucked everybody up. I'm not going to allow the rest of the family to have control over this tequila bottle, and I took it. And I went home with the rest of the tequila after I drove him home. And it sat there at my house for several months before I was like, fuck it, I'm drinking.
That was brave of you.
Yes.
And that was a noble thing you did.
And that's it's not the last time I had tequila, but it's one of the last times. But I played pool with this guy named Jose. Really cool guy. And every time I played pool with him, especially the last time I played with him, he won't stop feeding me shots of tequila, and then I have to buy him shots of tequila, and tequila and me don't get along either, so I knew, I expected that all to happen when I seen people going down with the tequila, because unless you grew up on tequila and you're Mexican, it just doesn't help. Everybody that drank tequila was white, but people, surprisingly, who didn't drink tequila were part Mexican.
Well, funny thing, my sisters and their dad, they're technically Mexican because their dad's from Mexico, but they're not Latino at all. According to Ancestry.com, anyway. Who knows how believable that stuff
What did that
is.
come out to be?
Filipino,
Filipino?
Native American, African American.
Native American? Well, everybody's African American.
Yeah,
At least a tiny percent.
but they have like a good amount.
So if it's, what I would say is, Native American can be a lot of things because, they settled this place, obviously, and there was other tribes like trying to figure out. They don't exist anymore, so you don't know what the Aztecs and the Mayans' actual heritage are. So maybe they're Aztecian.
Yeah, maybe.
People who possibly murdered 100,000 people a day on their special day.
They're silly.
Just cut people's heads off and roll it down the stairs.
That's a silly thing to do.
Sacrifice for the gods. I mean, one thing I don't understand is why don't we do that anymore? Like, if you believe in God, you definitely have to sacrifice things in order to murder it. But instead, we change all the laws and thousands of regulations in order to keep people safe. And we don't want to be safe. I mean, people want to be safe, but we don't want them to be safe or us to be safe. We should be allowed to do whatever the fuck we want. Like it actually halts progress to be safe. Like, how are you going to clone people? How are you going to make fucking metahumans, like metal cyborg people? How are you going to How are you going to find the aliens? How are you going to get to the bottom of the ocean if you don't take a bunch of fucking risks?
How are you going to make a giant microwave where you can just walk in with your food and it cooks in your hand?
Yeah. Just all kinds of shit. How are you going to solve the problem of the brain? Like I've said, that, I don't know if I've even said this on the show before or not. But it doesn't matter what you die from. You can get shot in the face. You can get raped until you bleed to death. All that stuff. And really, the only reason you die is because you have a lack of oxygen to the brain. And the brain dies. But what's funny about that is your brain dies, but your heart obviously pumps oxygen into the world, or into your body or whatever. It pumps oxygen, but your heart has its own system, its own cardiovascular system in place aside from the brain. So you have it's almost like a backup generator. So if your brain's kind of fucked up, your heart has like an electrical system that can put itself into motion. That's why they can use things like defibrillators to bring you back, because the brain can start dying because you're not getting oxygen, but your heart could kick in separately or do it on its own, things like that. So it's interesting that, when they say people got heart, it could be true because the heart's kind of a separate entity. But the thing about the brain is, you got all these cells in your body. Your brain's like white on the outside, but on the inside of the cells, it's like a different color, like a pinkish type thing. But the rest of your body is the opposite. It's like pinkish on the outside and whitish on the inside. So the transfer of signals are faster in your brain than they are in the rest of your body. So it's designed to work a certain way, and the rest of your body is just like, So if you could just figure out a way to remove your brain and put it somewhere and keep it alive, then what would happen? You could take your heart out and use your heart, brain, and a heart machine, and put a fucking shell around it, and you could be like Krang.
Mm-hmm. One thing I always thought was weird about death and ghosts and life after death and all that is, okay, so if I have Down syndrome and I die, am I a Down syndrome ghost? Like, am I stuck?
Yeah.
Why would I still have Down syndrome if I don't have any chromosomes anymore or anything? Like, why would I still? But then, okay, so if I automatically don't have that Down syndrome anymore, like, I'd be a totally different person.
Yeah.
So that don't make any sense.
And what would make you happy as a Down syndrome person might be completely different than what makes you happy as a non-Down syndrome.
And then, like, things like this too, like you always hear people like say stuff like, "Oh, I saw my grandpa and he was a ghost." Like, why did he stay old when he was a ghost?
I know. Well, we talked about that before. Why would it make any sense? Like, if you were the ghost of who you were, how would anybody know who you were? Because you wouldn't look the worst version of yourself before you died. You wouldn't have the same clothes on because you wouldn't have any clothes. And in order to have clothes on, you'd have to remember what clothes you were wearing when you died. Then you'd have to project those clothing onto you in order to just make it happen, just so someone could,
let's just say you weren't born with Down syndrome, but down the line of existence you had a stroke or something,
Yeah.
and you're mentally handicapped because of that. When you die and you become a ghost, are you still like that, or do you go back to normal again? I don't understand any of that. And then also, like, how would you have memories? Because your brain holds your memories. Like, if you, okay, say like you got amnesia before you died, and then you died, would you still have amnesia? Like,
yeah, like a lot of questions. Like, that's what I say. The brain, obviously, you have electrical things going on throughout your body all the time, nonstop, blah blah blah. So I've talked about this. there's energy through your body. Energy, we've kind of proven that can't be created or destroyed. Energy just exists. So people who say things like reincarnation, all that stuff, it makes more sense. It doesn't necessarily mean that you just leave your body and then all of a sudden you wake up as another person. But your energy goes somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's guaranteed. It's just like we were talking about the other day. It was that documentary about the worst person on the internet on Netflix, or worst human on the whatever it's called. And when you take a selfie of yourself naked, or you show a dick pic or something, you send it in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Once you send that picture out, it's energy. It's gone in the distance. It's energy that can be picked up by every computer in the world, every satellite, whatever. It's just energy. That's just how it exists. So that picture exists. So when you put it in the cloud, what is a cloud? It isn't a physical thing. There's no thing like one little box that it goes to and like you can pick it out and go, hey, look where it is. It's not like when you took a picture back in the day and you got a little negative photo and you're like, oh, that's that picture. I'll save this negative for when I need to reprint that. It's not like that. It's not a physical thing. It's energy. Energy's floating around nonstop. Brownian movement. It's just everything shakes. You can't see it. You can't detect it, but everything's shaking all the time because energy is plowing through everything at all times. So,
Even turds.
yeah, even turds got plenty of energy. Speaking of turds, yeah.
You know who likes turds? This dog.
Your pee-pee's almost out.
Dogs love turds.
Yeah, this puppy right here is a turd hunter. She
Come here,
loves
baby.
turds.
He likes the turds.
She's a turd hunter. Oh, baby.
She loves my turds.
Listen, we went camping a couple months ago. This dude right here, he takes a dump behind a log, and he comes and meanders by me, and I go, oh, did you take a dump? Because he didn't tell me he was doing it. And he goes, yeah. And I said, oh, I can smell it over here. And he goes, that's weird, because I took it downwind. And then I realized the smell was not coming from his shit. It was coming from the dog. And when we look at the dog, and the dog's licking her lips, that's when we realized that she had snuck over to his shits and scarfed them down.
What turd burglar?
She loves her poopy.
She likes to eat Joe's shits.
We ordered her a cheeseburger today. She kicked us apart because she was looking for the poop on the bird.
She was like, okay, I got my bun, I got my pickles and my mustard. Where's my shit? Where's the shit at?
Regardless of her poop eating habits, she's a good dog.
But still, because McDonald's discontinued their Impossible Burger. So, Beyond Meat, whatever it was, for that reason, because it was a turd.
Wow, man, sorry. My nipple still fucking hurts. It's all good.
I have to put some ointment on it.
You're gonna have to find somebody.
No fucking ointment on the nipple.
You're gonna have to find somebody to lick it to death.
I got one right here. The dog all we do is throw some poop on my nipple and she'll lick it. Who wants to poop my nipple? Nobody? Alright, good. Then where you go without the dog licks on my nipples.
We got a really important question we
It
need
just fucking
answers
hurts, that's all.
for. Is when's the last time you've picked up a bar whore and got some pooter tang?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well,
Never for me.
not too long ago,
I've never picked up a woman from a bar.
Yeah, me neither.
actually. He told me that I should be ashamed, but or I shouldn't be ashamed, but clearly he's never seen me gasping for air when a fat woman is sitting in my face. But, you know, it happens.
Oh, so since we're telling stories, I will say, years ago when Nanner and I were young, in our younger days, before catfish was a real term, I was catfished once.
Oh,
I
I
met
might
her.
have told this stuff.
Did we?
I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
Anyway, there's a large lady. I
People
was
don't
talking
watch.
to her. I was talking to her on the internet back when Yahoo Messenger was still a thing.
Did she flop her arm across?
Yes.
Maybe Steve Darwin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
worse than that.
And it wasn't even close to Big Steve.
So that'll get to that part. But anyway, we were talking for a couple of months, and she's done talking herself, saying, "I'm not pretty. I'm not." Well, the picture she was sending me looked pretty okay, so I'm telling her she looks good.
You'll come with the angle shots.
Yep. She was doing the old MySpace pictures, and she was taking pictures of herself. She was sending me pictures. She was sending me pictures of herself from when she was younger too. So,
That catfish.
yeah. So anyway, I invited her to come over, and she took me up on that offer one day, and I'm at home, and I lived with my nanny here. He wasn't there at the time, and he kind of looked like Post Malone there without the tattoos. He kind of looked like when you do that smile, and
No,
kind of looked like a.
Give her my-
Anyway,
Sure.
I'm playing video games. I'm playing God of War 2. That was the game of the time, and I hear on my door, and I'm like, "Who could this be? Could it be my papa? It's got to be a male because that's a manly knock." And I open the door and I look and I go like this, and I hear, it's the lady. Yeah, she doesn't like the story. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey, what?
Anyway, yeah, she was very large. She was about as tall as me and weighed 100 pounds more than me.
Maybe calling
She didn't even have any really defining features as a woman. She's just basically a man. Anyway, I tried to just get her out of the house so that my nanny didn't see. And we go to the mall. She's trying to hold my hand and stuff. I don't like that, so I say, let's go to Taco Bell. So we went to Taco Bell, and she's getting all upset because she's starting to realize I don't really like her. So she's crying, and I'm like, no, I like you. So anyway, for me to convince her that I liked her because I don't want to hurt her feelings, I had to let her spend the night at my house. So we go back to the house, and I'm planning on having her spend the night on the couch, but my nanny here is on the couch. And I'm trying to wake up my nanny. Wake up, nanny. Wake up. And he wakes up a little bit. He looks and he sees what I brought home, and he just turns around and goes back to sleep.
Still have a smile on my face. Hey.
He had a perfectly good bed. So she's asking me where she's going to sleep, and I tell
It
her.
went like this. So,
So I tell her, you can sleep in my room. I decided I was going to make a bed on the floor for me and let her sleep in my bed. She got upset when she found out I was going to do that. It really insulted her. So I had to sleep in the bed with her. And then she proceeded to tell me that that wasn't enough. I needed to remove some clothes. So I removed my socks. And this upsetted her even more. So I had to take my shirt off to appease her. And turned my back away from her, trying to fall asleep, and her big, hairy arm reached around me, and it looked like a big man arm. I felt like I was in prison. I started to really feel bad about myself. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, she was topless on top of me, taking pictures of me with a disposable camera. And I was going, oh, what the hell's going on here? She was telling me I was beautiful, and she wanted to take a picture of me. This really traumatized me. It was like 6:30 in the morning, so I had to get up. I told her I had to go to work, and she was like, "I thought you didn't have to work today," and I was like, "No, I remembered I have to go." She's like, "Quiznos opens this early," and I was like, "Yeah." And I went and I got in my car and I drove to this Panera Bread across the street from the place I lived at, and I waited there till I saw her car leave, and then I drove back.
you hear this? On the Freaky Nanner show, he invented a job to escape this.
Then
Throwing his sauce.
a year later, maybe 2 after that, I tried to catfish my friend that lived with me and Nanny with her, and I thought it'd be a funny joke. But when I came home after they met, he was actually really pleased with her, and he was thanking me for for setting that up. It really bothered me.
And I think we did tell the story because I remember telling the same story where I'm seen her not too long after that, right before Peter Steele died at the Orbit Room. You know, it's one of my curses sometimes. It hasn't happened in a long time, though. When I go see people in concert, the lead singer tends to die.
Midnight with
no
spot to.
And then I remember because you were talking about our favorite parts.
Oh,
Milk white
Midnight. Yeah.
look at the foot.
Oh, little Bonnie.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, little Bonnie.
Delicious. Oh.
On her mid-wide neck.
Yeah.
Black, 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 number one.
Yeah, and I have a good story too. That it wasn't as much of a catfish. This was just when I just wanted to get laid for no reason.
Booter.
And just the chick reminded me for some reason, like if my grandma was like 20 years old. My grandma that died.
Agma?
No, Wanda.
That's Agma.
Oh yeah, I call her Grandmamica.
Grandmamica.
But yeah, a girl I met. I think it was also on Hot or Not. She also had like a blonde friend that was fat too that I talked to, and then somehow, but I was like, I never do anything there. But I kept up with people all the time, and then when I would be single, I would just hit them back up at some point. Be like, oh, remember me, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then this girl drove. I don't remember where she was from, but she drove down. Probably like, I don't know, I think it was like an hour and a half she drove to see me. And then I seen her and I was like, man, she's even fatter than I thought she was. Darn, she's really short, like 5'1", 5'2" maybe.
Look, it's the gun. What we talked about.
Yep, it's begun. Hold on, let's get a capture of this.
We talked about this. We foresaw this.
Yes.
It's a little while ago. Yeah. Joseph, you can go in my sleeping quarters if you'd like. Go in my sleeping quarters. It's the first door to the right upstairs.
No.
Why?
There's just one little signal, one wall.
I don't want you to have to stay down here on the floor. You want Pop Pop to carry you up?
No. No.
You want Uppy?
No. It does go on the I'll pull it off here. Well, really?
Yes, give me your name.
I really have to. I am almost ready to go. Can we do this again? I want to do wild man.
Yeah, we'll do many more.
Yeah. As many as you want.
Well,
We're
let me
gonna
see.
do
I'm
yes.
throwing some of that sack in here.
It's fun to have.
Give me big kisses. Little kisses on the lips. Real sexy man.
You need help getting up. You need Pop Pop to carry you. You need Uppy, huh?
You still gonna check his Instagram profile? You'll be cool. Baby kid.
Lindsay? Here we go.
Yes. Step one has happened.
Be
Or
careful
no,
about the wire.
actually, I think it's step 3.
Breakfast? Yep. Gravy.
We're gonna have all the good stuff.
Yeah. All the brats and pina coladas.
Because your morning will fucking crack.
Don't let him out.
Yeah. So it happened just as I said it did on video.
Where am I?
upstairs. To the right.
Yeah, go upstairs, go to the sleeping quarters.
Sleeping quarters. Ryan will be up there to help you out later.
Yeah, I don't call him the animal for nothing. Wild man.
I don't know if you can hear that on here, but it's awful. Jumanji is a special character.
He's a very special treat for you and me. Yeah, he's a magical fish.
Lick his nipples clean because they've been bitten by a turtle. Anyways, we'll get back to the story. And yeah, she came and she was a lot fatter than I thought. Very short. And one of the first things she did when she got there, she said, "I'm hungry." And I was like, what? I was house sitting at my mom's house. So I had like a week where I was just at my mom's house with nobody. And I was in the middle of a like breakup at the time. So she came and we went to the store and I was kind of embarrassed, but we went and got some pizzas or something and brought it back and cooked food and ate and then laid down and watched TV. She laid on me and then eventually I was just like, well, I'm getting laid tonight no matter what happens. So I like just started playing with her boobs and doing whatever until it happened. And then she went and she gave me like, it was a weird experience, like the softest blowjob I ever experienced. Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Oh, wait,
There was so much moisture that I didn't feel like a regular blowjob. I felt like I was having sex with like if I filled like a wet noodle, like a one of those noodles for the pool, but it was bigger around than my dick, but it had pressure just because of the wetness. And I was doing like a wet noodle with a big hole. That's kind of what it felt like. So it was weird, but I did. I can't remember if I even got off. I don't remember. But anyways, but then she wanted sex, and I had sex with her, and it just wasn't enjoyable. So that was the one time in my life that I had to fake an orgasm. And as a man, and I worked for her, I was like, yeah, I'm done. And so I told her, I'm like, I'm done. I don't know if that got across as that, but I did talk to her a couple times after that. But yeah, not much after that.
Not appropriate.
So I wonder if she's got that story floating around. She's like, I had a guy fake orgasm on me. But I don't think you can tell that when you're a woman.
I got ghost jizzed. Yeah. He ghost jizzed me.
He said there were spermies everywhere, but there were none.
I went to go squeeze him out in the toilet. And there was
I wanted to get pregnant, and I was going to steal him from his condom so I could get pregnant and be with him, but there was no semen.
No sailors.
No little sailors. No little Sailor Jerrys. Why do you think he called himself Sailor Jerry? He's like, I got semen floating everywhere.
Demon.
That's just how I go. Semen hound.
A semen demon.
Semen behemoth. Yeah, so that was my story. That was my funny story. Similar to that, but not exactly. I didn't have the creepy episode. I just, when you want to get laid, you just do whatever it takes to get laid.
I wasn't even trying to get laid with her. I was just trying to be nice.
I had that one weird incident where I was talking to this girl. It was around that time when you first saw that girl, I think. No, maybe it was before that. It's when we had the apartment. But that was the same time, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, then I talked to this girl online, and she was okay. Nothing special. They were from like Flint, and I talked to them, and then I talked to her, and then she had a friend, and I also talked to her on and off, and I think we talked on the phone and stuff too. But the friend was disgusting, fat and ugly, And it was like a night, and I didn't know how to feel about it. Like the other girl was like, I don't think I want to do anything with you. And I was like, well, fuck you. We'll tell your friend to come over then. And I started talking to her. I was like, you come over, whatever. Well, bang. I have sex, I don't care. And she's like, oh, I'm coming. What's your address? And I gave her the address. And I was like, as soon as I did it, I was like, God, this is fucking retarded. Why did I do that? So I spent the whole rest of the night like dreading. I'm like, I hope this fucking bitch don't come over here and fucking try to get sex, because she was not attractive at all. Disgusting. And she didn't show up, so it worked out. But those are the kind of situations you were in. And you were talking about the acorn one. And there was some girl and
Oh yeah.
my friend was there too, and we were talking. And I needed somewhere to sleep. I had nowhere to sleep, and I was like, "Fuck it, if you let me sleep there, maybe we'll have sex." And they call her nickname was Acorn, so you can imagine what she looked like. She looked like a short little acorn. And there was no attraction whatsoever. And I went there, but I was friends with the girl, and I just stayed with her in the bed, and then I didn't do anything with Acorn.
Yeah.
Amazingly. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I only have those one times. I don't know. So I've had a few girlfriends for a long time, so
We have too many long relationships. And the current one is so long. It's been over 11 years.
yeah. Right now I'm alone.
Quarter of my life. Quarter of my life in one. And I had a 2.5 year and a 3.5 year. And I had several 6-month-ish relationships.
I feel like I'm at the age now where you're like in the danger zone, where like if you're alone, you're kind of stuck alone.
Yeah. But not really. Everybody, that's the crazy thing. Is like, I always say the same. Like, there's people that are just like a diamond in the rough, where you look at them and they look rough, but if you take their clothes off, even like women that are like 50-something now, like take the clothes off, sometimes they got fucking crazy bodies that still look super young and hard, perfect, tits that are still nice and not saggy or anything. Like, and you're like, what the hell? How is that possible? And their face is like they're like 70.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
But it's not always just being old, but just being an ugly person. There might be like an ugly chick that's like dykish looking,
Yeah,
but she's not a dyke.
Not what I mean about my problem, my age. It's more like either you got to pick the really young chicks that are toxic
Crazy.
because they're young, they're toxic, and they're never
Never gonna settle.
And if you do meet a woman that's young and not toxic, they're gonna want to have a baby with you. Then you don't want to have a baby when you're this age, so you gotta get that. So then so that's the young people. Then you got the women your own age. So you gotta either find a woman that's really fucked up because nobody else wants them.
Or they have fucked up kids.
Yeah. So, or they have kids that are that already have kids, and then you got to deal with their kids. So you got that, or you got like the women nobody wants. And
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you could pick if you didn't. You got to run through the gamut. You got to go through the gamut. So if you want something that's stable, you got to find a woman with money. Find a woman with money that not that attractive, but she might have an incredible body, and she might take really good care of herself, and she might take great care of you. You might have to go through that and get like a mid to late 50s type woman that's got everything together. As long as you have a stable job and you're doing shit, she feels like you're taking part in the thing. She's like, oh, I'm real active, and you get out and you feel young with her, even though she's old, and you just kick it with her, and then like 3 or 4 years down the road, you can exploit the shit out of
Yeah, I don't want to do
her.
that. I don't feel that. I don't feel like.
Well, no matter what you do, it all sucks. Because you get a young one, she's going to be virile too, so you're going to have to put out for her constantly. And then you get the middle-aged one that you don't have to have as much sex with. But, of course, like we were talking about, you have to deal with her kids. She's got all these fucking loser friends that hang around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And all that kind of shit.
Yeah, like, I don't understand that too. Like with me, I've got friends and stuff, and I hang out with them. But even though I have free time to hang out with my friends and stuff, I don't choose to do that every day. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna go to work. Then when I get out of work,
I don't have anything to do today. What do? I gotta go out.
I'm gonna go out and go to the bar and hang out with my friends. Like, there's like so many people out there that are my age that do that. And I'm like, how can you fucking do that? Like, how can you every single day hang out with people your age, like, and do all this young people shit? Like, I just want to be home. I just want to be home and
Watch a good movie.
I work all day, every day to pay rent for my house. I want to enjoy my house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking work all day to pay for a house that I'm not at.
$20. You go to a fucking museum or walk around and eat some bullshit, overpriced shit, and then you gotta go somewhere else, do something, bowling, or whatever the fuck you want to do, all kinds of shit, and it just costs so much money. And then you're not happy because you're broke, but you're like, I gotta do something every day.
I know.
I don't do shit.
I'll go.
This is my problem. This is what I've created. But I do need something to do. One thing I do want is I need something to do. I used to play pool. And then
I just sculpt things and paint things and draw things.
And I'd like to do that, but it's impossible at my house. Because I got retarded kids that ruin everything. So everything's a fucking... But the good news is that I got some time off this week. So I'm going to try to get things back in order.
Burn everything.
Yep. I got a lot to do. I'm so sick of it. Stress. That's the only reason I have any gray hair, I think. It's kids. Because there's nothing I can do about the kids. And it's the only stress I have in my life. You know, my job's super easy. And then probably the only reason I'm balding, I've shown this before, you can see it starting. But I wanted to go, I want to go full Nanner. I'm going to shave my head. And I'm building all the beard. It's going to all be there.
100%.
It's coming in.
100% agave beard.
All beard. And that's my life. I'm the beard from now on. For the rest of my fucking life. Oh, Professor.
Kitties like to show the motherfucking bottles. Kitties like to show the motherfucking bottles.
You just farted.
Oh.
Sounded like farts.
Motherfucking
Butthole. She's putting a butthole in your face and she's farting really hard because she ate some bad cat food. That's the weird thing about animals too, is like, I don't know, there's a lot of dogs that just eat anything. You just throw something at them. Swallow the shit. And then other dogs that don't. And my dog, I give him a bunch of shit. Like today, I bought a rotisserie chicken, I ate it, and then I've been saving the rest of it, cutting the little pieces off and all that, and putting it in his food. And then he's got wet food, dry food, and he gets the chicken. And then he actually eats the shit out of it and licks the bowl clean. But other times, you feed him like hot dogs or something, and he'll eat like half of it and leave the rest like, I don't know.
Like mayonnaise.
It's so stupid. Why would you be picky if that's the only meal you're going to get for the whole day?
He likes to take mayonnaise supplements.
Yeah. Like if the only meal you got all day was that, you'd know that you'd starve to death. I always hate those movies when people like give them shitty food and they're in prison and shit, and they're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, no, if you say fuck it, you're gonna be dead in 2 weeks.
That's one thing that
One thing you need is to eat as much as you possibly can.
That's one thing that I didn't realize that's really crazy is like the food that they give you like is so bad. Like if you don't have commissary, you're basically gonna die from the food they give you.
But where?
In prison.
In prison? Nah, I don't think so.
I don't know. But anyway, most of them, they rely on the commissary.
Yeah. Well, they get commissary. But that's what prisoners do. They have access. That's what the problem with prisoners is. I think I've said this on the podcast before. That my brother and at least 2 cousins of mine and many more in my family have been to prison or are in prison right now. I don't know how many because I haven't looked it up in a while. But guaranteed 3 of them. They're going to be there for a long time. I'm 100% in favor. Like, there's jails. When you do something that's not that bad of a crime, you go to jail. Jail's fine. You watch TV once a week. You go play games, foosball or whatever, table tennis, whatever. That's fine. But prison is different. If you want to deter someone from doing something bad, the only way to deter them, like you can't rehabilitate someone who's a child molester. You just can't do it. They're attracted to children. How do you curb their behavior? And there's got to be a way to do that.
Cut their nuts off.
Well, yeah. You cut their dick off, they can't fuck a child, right?
Yeah.
So that's easy. And why is that bad?
Yeah.
Cut the dick off of somebody who would fuck up a child for the rest of their life? Or many countries, you steal something, they cut your hand off. They cut your right hand off because your left hand you use to wipe the shit off your ass.
So they're merciful.
Yeah. So you can still wipe your ass, but you can't shake anyone's hand.
Yeah.
You can't grab food, so people gotta like feed you because they won't let you grab food with your left hand because your left hand is disgusting. I just don't understand why prisoners get rights, any rights. But there's a lot. The problem with that too is that there should be separate prisons. Like, if you're a drug charge, you should go to some cheesy prison because drugs are bullshit.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about drugs? We're talking about real criminals, murderers, rapists, and child molesters. Those are criminals. And then robbers are in the next tier, but robbers that murder, you put them back up with them. You know, it's just certain things that are bad.
We'll be right back.
You gotta go potty.
Peepees.
But yeah, you basically, with the prisoners, like, who gives a fuck about their life? They chose their decision regardless of how they grew up or where they grew up. That was their decision to become criminals. Like, you can just decide not to be a criminal. You can blow your own head off, whatever it takes. I don't care. Like, it'd be so easy to be a criminal. Just steal shit, rape people, whatever you want. Who cares? That's easy. The hard part is not doing that stuff. Because if you're a normal person, you already want to kill, murder, and rape everybody. But the hard part is not doing that. That's the easy part. And that's why, all these countries back in, thousands of years ago, why they failed is because they were busy and occupied with, my battery's running low. They were occupied with trying to rape, murder, pillage, all this stuff. And it was just normal stuff to them. So, if your normal life is fucking raping and killing, something bad's gonna happen to you. And that's how it should be with anybody in prison that's in prison for this type of shit. So, That's just how I feel. So my feeling always has been, I wanted someone sentenced to prison, no matter what their issue was, I would first sentence them to like a year. Just give everybody a year minimum. Just give them the year, and then after the year, they won't want to do it again because I gotta find this whole.
That's why I think Renee's outliers. Oh, always has been.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of wonderful. I don't know why they put it on this side. Stupid.
Renee's outliers always been ugly.
These outliers hot. Never thought not hot anymore. But yeah, but you build a prison, and the whole purpose of them being there is being comfortable. So you can fit a lot more people as well into a prison. But my best idea is to take
Excuse me.
Get that little pinky. Get it. Have him get that little pinky. Oh, it's so tight. Hide it. Oh.
There we go. All right. Charge it out. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, so you take the prison and you got, say, originally it's like an 8x10 cell. So I just cut that in half. You go 4x5. The thing is, you can't stand up because there's almost nobody that's 5 feet tall, less than 5 feet tall, 4 foot, and then you literally just have a bed next to a bed next to a toilet. And you got just enough room to like scrunch down and take a shit. Or
Sorry,
if I
guys.
take a piss.
Yeah, I'm getting a little too tired, so I gotta get more comfy.
Hey, Chirapa.
But anyways, but yeah, you make people uncomfortable. You give them just a year sentence, and they get out, but they're uncomfortable, and it's fucking hell. It's like putting them in the hole. You know, that's one thing. You isolate them from people. And that doesn't make a person regret what they did. That just makes the person kind of go more crazy. So you want to make them so fucking uncomfortable that they never want to go back to prison. And they'll do anything that they possibly can not to go back to prison. That's rehabilitation. When you're like, no matter what I do, I'm not going back there. And it's the same thing. If you get your hand cut off, you're like, fuck, I'm not going to steal because I'll get my other hand cut off. It's just any of that. But
That would work for most people, but for me, the only reason why I'm not in prison is because I've weighed out my options, which means that if I go to prison, most likely it's because I've given up all those options and I didn't care anymore. And I already planned that I'm going to spend the rest of my life in
yeah,
prison.
but you know that prison's not that bad. It's like you can go there and live an okay life. You just can't get any poontang unless you just. Nowadays, you can go there and say, well, I'm a woman, I want to go to women's prison. And then you can get a bunch of women pregnant.
Yeah. I mean, it would really have to be really bad for me not to want to go. I don't want to go to prison, but it would have to be really
Yeah, but you can picture if you get an hour a day outside of your cell. With the other 23 hours, you're in a 4x5 cell. You can't do anything. You can't stretch your legs fully. You're, what, 6'3", 6'2", whatever you are right now. And,
Yeah, I guess if I can't, I need to be able to stand up.
Yeah.
If I can stand up, I'm okay. But,
That's what I mean. You can't let them be comfy.
and
And
I
then
would
they
need
won't go back. They just won't.
I would need a book. At least
You'd be so fucked up.
I'd need at least one new book a month to read. I'd need a pen and a paper, and I'd need to be able to stretch my legs. If I had all that, I think I could
Yeah.
get.
And that's easy. I mean, I went to jail. It was so easy. It was just boring. Like, you play some games, you read a couple books, you write letters to people, and you fantasize about banging whatever girls are visiting you. And I was in jail. That's another good story when I was in jail. And I was dating this girl. I don't know, for a long time, for a couple of years.
Spider things.
Well, no, not her.
Oh.
I mean, it was her. She was involved, yeah. But I was dating the other girl, Danielle.
Oh, yeah.
And she was there, and she was in the process of losing weight at the time. She was chunky, but she was really attractive, very pretty girl, very smart, very nice, very great skin, nice body, even though she had like a badonkadonk.
Very alive.
Badonkadonk.
She was very alive.
You could set like a cup on her ass. That's what Ryan always said.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cute girl. But a bitch. A total bitch. She controlled everything I did when we got together in order for us to be together, and got pissed off if anything went wrong from however she had it planned or whatever. But anyways, so I got to jail for contempt of court. I can't get out of jail. I'm just stuck there for 3 weeks. And she's visiting me, and then my friend, my best friend, Dave, he goes to visit me in jail, and he brings, right before I went to jail, I started re-sleeping with an ex-girlfriend because I needed more sex, and she was also going. They were there at the same time visiting me, but didn't know it because they had different visiting times because they were different people. So I was in jail with about multiple girls I was sleeping with. At the same time, I'm different.
I just thought you were going to tell the story about when Spider Fangs, the one girl, her name was Heather, when she found out that you were in jail, she goes up. She had spent the night. She had spent the night at her apartment, so she was at our apartment. And she came up to me and she goes, "What are we gonna do?"
I said, like, I'm not doing nothing.
I said, "We ain't doing nothing."
I'm gonna eat this fucking Whopper Hershey candy bar.
And he had a Hershey candy bar in the kitchen on the top of the fridge, and I had been wanting it. And the first thing I did, I got up and I went, and I ate that. I thought for sure by the time he got back, he had forgotten about it. That was the first thing he had on his mind.
Like I said, I think we had mentioned this on the podcast, but still, it's funny. He ate it, and I wanted it, and literally, it's been 20 years.
Yeah.
And they've never came out with the Whopper Hershey bar ever since then.
I tried to recreate it, but it's not the same.
It's a sad moment in time.
It's something I wish I could take back, but I can't.
But instead, now they come out with fucking Coca-Cola that's like space. Oh, it tastes like space. What the fuck is that?
What does that even mean? That's like me being like, this tastes like magic.
Then it ends up tasting like fucking gingerbread cookies or something.
How can you know what space tastes
And now they got the new one that's like called Dream. I haven't had it yet, but Tiffany bought the box of it.
That's like almost the same
She
as.
said it tastes exactly the same as the other one.
That's almost the same as like when they were doing that thing where you could buy a star and name it. Like,
Yeah, you can still buy your friends. Oh, hey girl, I got you a star.
like
It's fucking
I bet the same stars named like after 50,000
Yeah.
people.
yeah. They don't have any particular thing. They just could be a thing with a star.
Yeah.
There's 30,000 people that have.
Just like I keep seeing these stupid things when you go to the museum now. They have these stupid necklaces and stuff that say, buy this necklace and you can have your own shark and you can track it. And I'm like, yeah, how fucking real is that? Like, how many people have the same thing that says the same thing?
Same shark.
Yeah, like, you can have your own
It's
shark.
not like there's 370 million or 350 million people in the United States. Like even if 2% of them bought that. You can't imagine that. 7 million.
I'm
people,
sure it's just a
7 million people could have their own shark. It'd be impossible.
I'm sure it's just a stupid program that's not even connected to a shark. It's just
probably not even a real shark.
it's just yeah.
Have a computer program.
Oh.
Where are you sharky?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Like, how would you be able to prove them wrong?
Yeah.
Like, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, actually, if I look this up, then the whole like
I'll dive in the Pacific Ocean and check if my shark is where they say it is."
all that shit's stupid. Like those stupid, all that shit. All the stuff that they put up with stuff like that. Like, buy this bracelet, you will be picking up 10 pounds of garbage or whatever. Like, how do you know? Like, sorry, my cat's got all these clumps.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get these hair clumps off him.
Professor. He gets pissed off. He gets pissed off. But,
For your own good.
yeah, and this is a crazy thing. Like, all these people think, well, yeah, they'll give to a charity, like, fallen victims, fallen victims of Vietnam or whatever the fuck it is. Some big ass charity, St. Jude's Hospital or Make-A-Wish Foundation, shit like that. Like, there's a lot of people, because it's a big corporation, they get. The reason why the rich people give them the money is because they get tax breaks from it. But when you look into these big corporations that have all these foundations, really, it can be as small as 1% that they're actually donating of all the money that they get in. They got 100,000 people working for them, and they all get paid riches beyond you can imagine to run this organization and not really do that much.
Oh, you know what? Another thing that really frustrates me is all those stupid posts on Facebook where they they'll say something.
Like the Black Lives Matter.
No, just stupid stuff where they'll just tell any kind of story. Like, it could be like some guy saves this dog, or this lady has died from cancer, and these people came and visited her. Or whatever. And they're like, don't forget to don't scroll on without liking this first. That you're literally liking something that has that is not even that. Okay, so it's basically like me taking a story that I see from someplace else and reposting it myself, and telling everybody to like it for them. No, they're not going to see it. You're just getting likes on their behalf that they're never even going to see. Like, you're not helping them. Like, you're just helping the person that stole that information. Like, it's so frustrating. I'm just like, I can't explain. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because they're like, don't keep scrolling without liking this post.
Foster died of drug overdose, and and if you like this post 1,000 times, we'll donate $10 to their.
Well, it'll be
anything.
It'll just be like, okay, it'll be like Joan Crawford just turned 99 this year, and she's the oldest black woman to do this. Don't scroll on without giving her a like. She's never gonna see it.
Yeah, it's not Joan Crawford asking for that.
Yeah, like that person that you're talking about's never gonna see that. Like, it's not. It's a scam.
It doesn't help any of their family either.
Yeah.
Like, they have family that could be getting likes or getting donations from people or whatever.
But you know what I do? I don't fucking like it.
Yeah.
I fucking keep scrolling. I'm like, fuck you.
But the only thing I ever like, anyways, is just comedy shit.
Yeah.
The point of life is to have fun and enjoy it. So I don't know why so many people don't enjoy life. You just gotta have fun. Everything can be funny. Everything is funny. If someone falls in their fucking face, whether they have cancer or they're fat, who gives a fuck? It's funny.
We're just the universe experiencing itself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm you and you're me, and we're all this thing.
Yeah.
We're just
So
experiencing.
when I put my penis in your butthole, it's the same for me as it is for you.
It's like the universe masturbating.
Yeah.
You know?
I just came up with a funny thing, but I forgot what it was. But it was something like I wanted to do a joke where if I went up on a comedy show, my first thing would be like, "Have you ever like jerked off in a bathroom, in like a public restroom?" And you get some kind of crowd noise or whatever. And you're like, "Well, I just did it like 5 minutes ago, but there wasn't any toilet paper in the room, so I had to like shoot it in my hand." So I decided it's a thing I do. I do it every once in a while, and I do the slap back, and I go up to whoever's in the crowd. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 people to wipe all that shit off. So you just slap it back. Like, "Hey, buddy.
Hey, thanks for coming in here.
They get to come on their back, and they don't know it, and they go home later. And
It's like a souvenir.
yeah.
Did you ever see that meme where it said, did you ever see that meme where it says, I told this lady that she had semen on her back, this lady on the bus that she had semen on her back. She said, "I think it's just yogurt." And I said, "I'm pretty sure I don't ejaculate yogurt."
They did the slap back. I just thought of it. People have already thought of it.
I love that. It's an old skit with Dave Chappelle when he's like, there's a guy on the bus and he's stroking his dick and he's going, "Nobody move! Nobody move!" and he's stroking it. And he comes and he gets in this lady's hair and she goes, "I got AIDS!" And he goes, and right after he comes, he felt guilty about it. You know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
Nobody move! Nobody move!
I just wanted to do a bit too about my impression of Louis C.K. And you're just like,
Hey, you want to watch me jerk off?
"Do you care if I do this in front of you?"
Why would anybody do that? I don't understand. I don't understand guys that like get off on like making women watch them jerk off that don't want to watch them jerk off. I don't understand. I don't understand that.
Who knows? He's probably molested or something. Who knows? Or he had an uncle that jerked off in front of him when he was like 4. Some shit. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like
It's like conception when you get a fucking thought in your head when you're young. It
Yeah.
just builds up over time. Then you do some weird thing to counteract it or reenact it.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't remember until recently that I did when I was a kid, because we're talking about stuff like that, is I found some thermometers at my friend's house, and they were really old. He had like a bunch of medical equipment in his house from whatever, I don't even know. Anyway, I broke them, and there was mercury inside, and I played with the mercury. And I didn't know this until later on in life, but mercury can cause insanity. And that's why they call Mad Hatters, because hatters back in the day used mercury for their hatting, and it would cause them to go insane.
Well, yeah, I think that's because mercury can soak in your skin.
Yeah.
It has a very low boiling point, and it has a very low, probably gas point as well. So, if you're like wearing it and you got mercury in your hat and you're in like a heat situation, it probably smokes.
Well, that's another reason
into
why.
your brain, shit like that.
That's another reason why it doesn't. It's not as common anymore, but it used to be really common for dentists to have one of the highest suicide rates, because dentists used to use mercury in their fillings for putting fillings in people, and so they're exposed to mercury all day.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying I'm insane. I don't think I'm insane, but I'm curious to know if that has caused some kind of mark on me as far as my development goes in my life. But I just remember that, and I just remember thinking it was so cool because I had just seen Terminator 2, and it was like Terminator 2. Yeah, and I was like, that much more interested in it because it reminded me of Terminator 2.
When I seen Terminator 2, what was it, 1997, right?
1992.
92?
It takes place in 97.
Yeah, so my mom, I went with my mom. I pretty much forced her to go. I think we were little with Charlie at the time. And forced her to go, and she was pretty much almost in labor with Jessica. Yeah, it was 1992, right? Yeah, because Logan was 1997. So, yeah, just,
All I know is that it takes place in 1997, but it was 1992.
Yeah, Logan was born in 97.
I just caught a second wind, I think.
Yeah. I don't know how much time we have left. I don't know this computer yet, so it's hard to. It's not really showing me, but I put it on a 3-hour duration, so the video, no matter what I do, is going to be exactly 3 hours. So we'll try to end it before then.
I hope you guys really enjoyed that Wild Man Joseph.
Yeah, Wild Man Joe. We've been trying to get him for a long time, and I'm pretty sure that it didn't disappoint.
We're probably going to have a Big Steve one of these days.
Yeah. Big Steve we've been trying to get for a while. Big Steve is a fun guy,
Mm-hmm.
and we can drink a lot. I mean, like I said, just look behind me. There's still plenty of whiskey to go around.
I've been trying really hard not to drink.
Yeah. And I implore you, if you fucking touch that forged whiskey before we are supposed to drink it, I will murder you.
I won't touch the forged whiskey. If I touch anything, I'll try just to touch the origin.
Yeah, there's more of that. I can't remember how $50 for
I've been trying to be good. It's just drinking my Jerry.
this is 17. I can leave 7 bottles of this.
But as long as I got my Jerry, but sometimes what happens is
He drinks so much Jerry that they run out at the liquor store.
They do. They actually, that's not a joke. They actually did run out, and they didn't have any more. So then I had to buy the Kraken, and then I drank all the Kraken. So there was no rum there, and I got upset. So we know what they did is they ordered more from another place that they normally don't order from, special just for me, and that's why I have this. Because otherwise they wouldn't have this, because the place that they normally get this from doesn't have it right now. I don't know why.
I found out. I'm going to have to check them out. There's a liquor store in Byron Center. I'm not going to say the name. It's in Byron Center area.
I know what you're talking about.
But supposedly it's also owned by a bunch of businesses. Like, I won't even say the business. I'll leave them out because I don't want to blow it up for myself because I want to go there and see what they get. But anyways, they own a bunch of businesses. They own this liquor store, and they've only apparently owned this liquor store for a few months. So because of all the connections, they're getting some rare liquors and some special picks. And I'm going to have to go down there, and I'm going to have to buy some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have no choice, because my liquor store is great. Oh yeah, I was told too that I can use them as a reference. Joe's Party Store. And there's a good story about that. Across from Joe's Party Store was a family video.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Ricky, back in the day, used to often go there and get our videos because family video was crazy. And they'd be like, "Ooh, rent 8 videos, get 1 free." Or
You could get
or
two movies for $1 for 7 nights.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy shit. So you could bring $10 and get a whole bunch of movies and shit, whatever. And then so we'd rent all these stupid ass movies like Blackula, and then just any kind of movie.
Avenger.
Toxic Avenger. anything, especially if we thought there might be a titty in it.
Yeah.
Get that movie, it's like, oh, it looks like a movie with a titty.
Yeah. That's true.
And then, yeah,
We were allowed to. I was usually the one that was in the account that rented the movie. My parents, I don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but they put me on the list to be able to rent
whatever.
rated R movies. So we could rent movies that had titty in them. But the funny, well, I'll let you go to what you were talking about.
But anyway, so we go there, but on our way there, like I said, you have to pass Joe's Party Store in order to get there. And sometimes we go in there, and we would want to just walk around and maybe buy a drink or something, because Family Video is more expensive for their drinks, so we'd want to go in there and get cheaper drinks. And but they had this rack in the front, and it had fucking dirty magazines right there. So anytime we go in there, and it was always Asian people that owned it, and we'd go in there, and they obviously knew we were young.
They go, you pay now, you get out. You don't look at those magazines. Get out. They yell at us.
Yeah, so they'd either kick us out, not let us buy anything, or
We wouldn't even be trying to look at the dirty magazines.
It's not even the point we went in there.
There was comic books right by the dirty magazines, and that was, if anything, we were trying to look at the comic books.
We were scared to get kicked out, and we already knew that we'd get kicked out, so we weren't trying to do that.
You know what made me the maddest was back then they had the thing where you could get Coke, and then they'd have the cap that said that you got a free Coke. They would not fucking honor that. They would, if you went in there and tried to get a free Coke with that cap, they'd fucking yell at you and tell you to leave. Pissed me off so bad.
That's why I went to 7-Eleven back in the day.
What was I gonna say before when we were talking about?
Well, the same lady owns it now, Jeannie. I'm pretty sure she's probably the same lady that was back in the day, but she's really nice. And I talk to her all the time. I go in there every week.
Well, yeah, we're adults now, so she probably.
Yeah, she gives me shots of whiskey all the time. Even
when you have hair on your dick? Oh, you come in now.
Yeah.
They just
don't even have the dirty magazines anymore.
Well, yeah. I'm surprised dirty magazines even exist still. How do dirty magazines even, or magazines in general?
Get everything free on the internet now.
How does paper
anything?
How does paper anything other than toilet paper exist? Toilet paper should be like the only thing that exists that is made of paper. Nothing else should exist out of paper.
I still believe that schools should do things on paper. Like, when you're a kid, you need that. When you do it on a computer, you're like separate from it.
Well, yeah, because when you're writing something out of paper, you learn it better.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But aside from that, I don't think any of that shit needs to matter.
Yeah, it's all stupid shit. But
what was I gonna say? And then I was like, oh, you better finish what you're saying.
It was about we wrote the videos.
Yeah, I don't know, but one thing I remember though that is similar to that about the running videos is that they had videos that had a little black sticker on them that said must be 18 to rent. And I went to IM Video one time, and I was on the list to rent rated R movies there too. And this was after I had moved and I had lived with my mom in a different house, the house she lives in now. And I found a movie that said must be 18 or older to rent. For some reason, I don't know why, I just thought I could rent it. And it was for the sole purpose of seeing titties in it. And I go, and it's a busy day, and I go in the line to rent the movie, and I get up there, and the guy says, "You're not old enough to rent this. You got to be 18." And I was real embarrassed. So I was like, "What do you mean?" I thought that was like Anacondas. And he was like, "No, it's not Anacondas." And I was like, "Well, that was behind the box for Anacondas." And trying to like play it off as like somebody put the wrong movie behind the box. He didn't seem like he was too convinced, but I never went back after that. I never went back to the IM Video because I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, I used to get some of those places like IM Video. They would charge you ridiculous prices, like $6 to rent a video game.
Yeah.
When you rent a video game, you wouldn't bring it back, then you go and they'd be like, "You was $35." And then I'd be like, "Fuck this place." And they would not release, like, I can't remember. There was a couple of, might have been on video, and I remember like Turok the Dinosaur Hunter.
I love Turok.
For some reason, it never got returned. And then eventually, I never returned it. I think I owned Turok for Nintendo 64. And, but anyways, like, I moved away. I was gone for years, and I came back, and then I still had my video card. And they're like, "Oh, you owe us $600 or whatever the fuck it was." I was like, fuck that.
When I went to Family Video, I was obsessed with the Toxic Avenger, and I mean, I still love the Toxic Avenger, but when I was a kid, I was obsessed with it, and I would rent that movie so many times. And I rented it one day, and I lost it. I don't know how, but I lost the movie, and they ended up trying to like charge me like $70 for the movie, yeah. And my dad was like, "There's no, that's not even worth that much money." And I don't even remember what happened to the movie, but
the thing was with the video stores is that they didn't pay for the movies; they paid for, a certain amount of copies. So whatever it was, 30 copies of the movies, they're paying premium price of like $15 a movie. 30 copies, like $600, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. $500, $600. So when they lost a copy, they would charge you a percentage of that. So it made the movie seem like it was like $65, $70.
Who the hell is that?
With me. Just an alarm. And so it made the movie seem like they were more expensive. They'd charge you more for it. But then, of course, once the movie was old, they'd have too many copies and they couldn't keep them in the stores, so they'd sell them for like $4.
I don't understand. I don't know what to say. But you know what? I wish there were still. I went to Family Video until they closed them down.
Yeah, I would still go. I still have a VCR.
Well, I mean, they had DVDs, yeah, but I rented DVDs from Family Video all the way up until they closed. And,
we didn't rent too much, but I would go there and buy them.
I mostly rented seasons of shows, yeah. But yeah, I wish that they still existed.
We gotta keep it all together.
If I ever get rich, I'm gonna make my own video store in my house. Wow. Post Malone, werewolf. You look at a werewolf mixed with a Post Malone. Steve, Big Steve, he's got a friend who I know. His name's Jason. His ex-wife, she used to work for Alex Jones. Yeah. And
Alex Jones, time right now.
She was his assistant. Well, now she doesn't work for him anymore. Now she's Post Malone's assistant. Isn't that crazy?
Post Malone.
Yeah.
I love Alex Jones. Time. There's gay frogs everywhere. He's a bunch of gay frogs. We're gonna put the gay frogs everywhere. We're gonna get them.
Steve sent me a picture of her FaceTiming with Post Malone. I thought that was pretty cool.
Post Malone is so weird. I just don't understand.
Honestly, I'm not really a fan of. I'm not.
Music kind of sucks.
I'm not saying I don't like his music, but I'm not saying I like his music. But I just think his personality is cool. I think that he's got a really cool.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, for one, why with all the face tattoos?
Yeah.
You're already kind of a goofy looking dude to begin with. That just makes it extenuating.
He was on Jimmy Fallon or something like that, and he was talking about it, and it was funny because he was like, I forget that I have these tattoos, and he was like, when I get really drunk, sometimes I'll go in the bathroom and I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, what the fuck?
That's what I mean. You do it.
But I just like his
The rest of
personality.
your life.
I
do
think
like him.
I think he would be a really nice guy to talk to. Like,
Yeah.
I think that
He drinks like Bud Light still
Yeah.
all the time.
I'd like to be like, I'm not, you know, back in the day I used to always be like, oh, I want to meet my favorite actors and stuff. And as I've gotten older, I've not really been like that.
He's just weird though. He wears like kilts and shit on
Yeah.
stage, and just weird stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever he does doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, he's all over the place. He's like 50 different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's fine. It's just it's not nothing to do with him. It's just like, why does he make the choices? And you gotta live with those choices the rest of your life. You can be some old fuck with retarded ass tattoos all over your face.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, that's what it is.
if your personality is as cool as you know, people see past that. I feel like, you know. I don't
They
know.
can, but still, when you're old, you're just gonna look fucking weird as fuck.
Yeah.
You're gonna have saggy skin. There's gonna be like words that are who
knows? Maybe by then they'll have something to remove it all.
I mean, they can remove it. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But you can.
But maybe by then though they will have something.
Yeah, they'll have something to remove it. It'll be a fucking knife. And then they put a machine over it. You're like,
Shabba-ba-ba. He's looking at you.
I know.
What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, Professor knows some shit's crazy.
Yeah, me and Nanner, we used to watch movies just to see some titty.
Oh yeah.
I remember when we went to go see The Gift. We
Yeah.
just went there just to see Katie Holmes' titty.
titties.
And it was worth it. We saw them titties.
Especially back in the day, they seemed gigantic.
Now she looks really homely. She looks really torn down and homely.
Lots
That's
of people
because,
do. Oh, we didn't talk about that. You heard about Anne Heche, right?
oh yeah, she's Freddy Krueger now.
Yeah.
Is she dead yet?
Yeah. She died.
Like 100% dead?
100% dead.
Okay.
I left a message on Facebook, something about the post, and I put 1 house, 2 house, 3 house, dead spouse, something like that. But this dude, I was drunk when I did it, so it was kind of stupid, but it's still funny.
She's dumb. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel one.
But I mean, she did have a fucked up childhood.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I mean, I had a fucked up childhood.
But I mean, her dad molested her. Her dad was like a drug addict, and her mom was a drug addict. They both died of drugs.
It sucks that happened, you know. But you gotta.
She's fucking rich.
It gets to the point where at a part of your your life where you just gotta forget it. Like, you gotta just take responsibility for yourself. And if you, especially if I feel like, and I'm guilty of this myself. I'm guilty of blaming my parents for why I'm the way I am. But if you can acknowledge that that's why you're the way that you are, then you should have the power to be able to change that. And I don't feel bad if you're an adult and you're, I'm not gonna say that I feel bad for you even if you had a fucked up childhood, because I've been there.
And I think the third house, because I think she hit a house before. And I think that's why I mentioned the third house before she died. She hit a house, I think, before years ago.
Well, she went in some random person's house too and took a bath.
Yeah, all kinds of weird shit. Either way, but that's why my comment. I stick to my comment. You look it up, my fucking comment's out there. It's under my fucking name.
Yeah,
Anyways, but anyways, yeah. Then she hits a house. She pulls out. People are trying to help her. And they got video cameras of her fucking flying down fucking house streets. She almost hit a guy in the alleyway. And she slams into another house and fucking hits some weird thing. And it fucking blows the fucking front of her car. Like, normally a car blows up, but whatever she hit blew the house up, and it burned her car, and then she got out. she was brain dead. And then
She got out?
Couple days. Yeah, they got her out.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Brought
she
her
got
to the
herself out.
hospital. No. They brought her to the hospital and she was on life support for a couple days.
So she got burned up pretty good.
Yeah. She was on life support for a couple days. And then they decided to pull the plug because she was done. She was already done. She was trying to kill herself.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
If you're gonna put cocaine in your body and all this other shit, like, I feel like you're already not wanting to live.
Yeah.
We were talking about the fentanyl the other day, like they cut it with that. Like, if you're willing to make that risk, then you're.
Yeah. It's like a cake batter. So put the fentanyl in it, but you mix it together in a big vat or whatever. There's going to be some clumps. And sometimes you're going to get a clump that's just a bunch of fentanyl. And it just takes the teeniest little bit amount of fentanyl to really fuck you up.
Well, Joe was telling me, the wild man. We were talking about it earlier today, and he was saying that some of the drug dealers purposely put
fentanyl.
They purposely put deadly amounts in some of their drugs for somebody to OD on or die from, because there's some drug addicts, like really heavy drug addicts, they have a high tolerance, and when they hear about that attracts them.
Makes them come.
Yeah, and that's and so they purposely.
That's possible too. Yeah.
And he calls it like the death batch or whatever, but it's fucked up, man.
But it takes a lot. It doesn't take much fentanyl to fuck you up. That's for sure. It's, I think, 1,000 times stronger than 1,000 times stronger than heroin, something like that.
I'm just sticking with good old alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol. I mean, you could die for sure. I could die today. Who gives a fuck?
You gotta have a lot of alcohol in you to die, like, from drinking in one day.
I'm not like, didn't I tell you this? Joe Rogan experience that they do the thing, Protect Our Parks podcast, and Martin Norman, Ari Shaffir, Shane Gillis, and then Joe Rogan. And then the last episode, Ari Shaffir tried to keep up with Shane Gillis on beers. And he drank like 15 Bud Lights, and it fucked him up, and he passed out and started throwing up. Fucking pissed in a Buffalo Trace bottle on camera outside the door, so they got it on camera, pissing in the bottle, and passed out. And he couldn't do the show. They had a show that night that they were all going to do, but because of that, he had to have somebody watch him every 15 minutes. Just to make sure you didn't throw up on the floor or piss on the floor. Shane Gillis was fine. Shane Gillis drank 17 or 18 beers on his own. 18 Bud Lights.
Ew.
No. It's just, where was my point going? I have no idea where my point was going. But anyways, it's just, some people can drink a lot and have a good time like me. I can drink, I'm almost out of this. I drank most of this bottle myself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine. I can talk. I'm fine. Fuck no, I'm not. I'm fine.
Pabst.
Some people are fine. Some people, it was Andrew Huberman, who was also on Joe Rogan, that talked about some people have a gene in their body that when they drink a certain amount of alcohol, it just makes them fucked up. They're just fucked up no matter what. Some people just don't have that gene. When you don't have that gene, or I think it is a gene that you have that makes you have a certain receptor that makes you able to drink a lot more than other people and still function.
I definitely have a limit to where I can act, where I can't speak right and stuff. But I feel like it's a higher limit than a lot of other people. I feel like you definitely have more of a tolerance than I do with it. But it's just crazy because like so many people when they drink, they get like crazy and they can't walk right, they can't talk
like,
right.
Yo, we saw him. He's drinking Fireball whiskey.
Yeah.
35% alcohol.
And
look at this. This is only 80 proof, 40%, but it's 5% more than that. And I drink most of this bottle.
For me, it's more like it's not so much what I drink or how much I drink; it's how fast I drink. And I have over the years learned a certain pace to drink at, and as long as I drink at that pace, I can drink as much as I want, and I can just feel it. And at a certain point where I'm just like, okay, well, I'm at this, and I'll wait until it gets down to here, and then I'll take another drink, and then I'll wait till it gets down to here.
Well, I do fun. There were times where I got really fucked up, especially at like bars when I was younger and stuff. And I learned a trick. It was like I go into the bathroom and I would like look at myself. Like when I started saying weird shit, like I'd be like, "Ooh," or that famous thing that we've talked about before. That's what Dave does.
Yeah,
that's what Dave does. And I just kept saying that over and over. And I realized I'm so fucked up. I just go in the bathroom and I look in the mirror and I just stare myself in the eyes. Dead in the eyes, and I just give myself a few seconds of like, stare myself in the eyes, look back, I'm like, yeah, I'm fucked up. And it just brings it back. It's like it sucks my soul back into my body.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
I know what you mean. I've done that before. I've had that happen before. A few times in my day. It's funny. It's a funny thing to do.
You just look at yourself and like, huh?
My cha-cha. It's kind of like when you're an Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead, and you're looking at a person, and then you look back at them and like,
Yeah.
I love Evil Dead. And did you see the new movie, Evil Dead, come out?
Ah.
Yeah, they're doing a new Evil Dead.
I heard that they were going to do a cartoon of Evil Dead.
No, a new movie.
There's another Evil Dead movie coming out with Ash.
I don't know the details, but I'm guessing it's him. I mean, he's always in them.
Yeah.
Ash
Well, he wasn't.
That was amazing.
He wasn't in the reboot, but yeah,
No.
everything else he was.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's got something to do with the other one. But he revitalized like the other movie. I actually like the other movie. I think we even talked about that on the podcast. It was pretty good.
I liked it until the end.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Because the Deadites, all the Deadites were like so hard to kill.
Yeah.
And then the last person that they were like dreading to come, they were like trying so hard not to can't let come, was literally like the easiest thing.
Well, that's what they do with a lot of movies. I've talked about that, like the Marvel movies, especially Fantastic Four and stupid shit like that. You build up to a point and then you get to the badass that you're not supposed to be able to kill them. Like, yeah, done. We're friends. High five. He's dead. It's like, seriously, like, even with 3 Spider-Mans in the Spider-Man movie, they had 4 badass villains all working together to kill him. There's no way they could beat him, but whatever.
I hate that Spider-Man.
I know.
I almost feel like I hate that.
I'm going to go see Thor. I think the new Thor tomorrow, but I'm going to take Timmy.
I heard
Timothy.
it was good, but I don't know.
But it's like funny. They're all funny now.
I don't know how. I don't know. I mean, I like the Thor movies, so I feel like it'll be good. But I just don't like the idea of Natalie Portman being Lady Thor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's what they do to everything now. Like, every show there is on TV, every reboot, everything, the Star Wars, they have the female. So they got fucking
She-Hulk.
Yeah, She-Hulk. They got fucking Stranger Things has the girl. And fucking just everything. They've changed it. They're like, oh, now we need lead girls in every
We need it
fucking
to be a lead girl.
every fucking show. Mrs. Marvel, even.
Let's make them either gay or black.
Yeah. They have to be, They have to be Hispanic or black, whatever it is. But they're just doing that. It's all they're trying to get the culture. It's not going to make the money. You know what makes the money? Guess what makes the money? It's Tom Cruise in a fucking Top Gun.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Fucking Tom Cruise.
It's already, I think it's the 7th highest grossing movie in the history of movies. And he didn't pander to China.
You know what's funny?
Imagine if he had China buying the movie too.
You know what's funny, dude, is Quentin Tarantino, which I respect as a director and everything, is the last person I would think to say this, but Quentin Tarantino said that it's like one of the best movies he's ever seen.
Yeah. It was a good movie.
Did you see it? I never seen it.
I took my mom to see it.
I've never seen the original Top Gun.
Oh, you've never seen the original?
Oh. I've never seen Top Gun or the new one.
Watch it.
They're
The
good?
original, yeah. It's like a bro movie.
Huh.
Like the original one. You got Tom Cruise, you got Val Kilmer, and you got fucking, what's her name? Fucking, hot chick back in the day, but it's funny if you look back.
Molly Ringwald?
No. You look back in the day, like, she had like a double chin already back in the day, and now they show pictures of her and Tom Cruise
Yeah.
at the same
She's
age.
like really old.
She's
looking.
all old and fat as
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, she was all pissed off because they
She
wouldn't
was like-
bring her back.
She was like the hot chick.
Yeah.
She's disgusting.
Yeah.
You can't bring her back.
I know, but it's so funny because they were saying how she was all butthurt because they
Yeah.
tried to get her to come back.
Yeah. And then you got someone like the girl that's in the new Top Gun. What's her name? God, I forget people's name, but fucking
Christina Ricci?
no. I have to look it up. Top Gun.
Anna Faris?
No.
Oh, I know. Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I wish. No.
That bitch. Dude, did you
David
see?
Jones is in the new Nanner.
I know. Everybody's mad about it right now. I don't know why. It looks
I
good.
don't like the guy they got to play her
Gomez.
husband, Gomez. He's fucking ugly as fuck.
Yeah, but if you look at the original, like,
Yeah, but he was like Raul Julia. Looked the same. But this guy looks fucking disgusting. It's like,
yeah. I don't really care about that. I just care about,
but it
like,
doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Like they're sexual. They're supposed to be like two sexual people. Like that was always the thing. He's like kissing her,
Yeah.
shit like that, and stuff like that.
But this is mostly about,
Like, oh, man,
this is
I'm
mostly about,
fat as fuck. Oh.
this is mostly about Wednesday anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it looks like it's going to be good. Except for the only problem I have with it, honestly, out of everything, is that Tim Burton's the director. And almost everything Tim Burton's touched in the last 20 years has sucked. So,
Jennifer Connelly.
oh, yeah, I like Jennifer Connelly.
She's pretty old, but she looks great. She's
Yeah.
51. And look at her.
Uh-huh.
As opposed to, hold on, I'll go to the other Top Gun.
Yeah, I've always thought Jennifer Connelly is hot.
Let's see the chick.
I've always wanted to be boyfriend-girlfriend with Jennifer Connelly. Boyfriend-girlfriend.
1986 film. Let's see.
I'm gonna get that little pinky with my towel.
I'm gonna make this as big as
Probably looks like Queen Elizabeth.
Alright. Kelly McGillis compared to Jennifer Connelly.
Looks like that transgender person from. Oh! Oh! That's her own fault. She let herself go.
Yeah. Compared to what she looked like in the movie. Like, here's. If I can pause it on her.
How old is she?
Here's some things you probably did not know about the original. Studio execs apparently did not want to cast Kelly McGillis. They thought
God
she
damn
was
it.
too old.
Pause.
That's the
Oh, piece of shit. Yeah, that was her back then.
Man, she was good looking.
Anybody who hasn't seen Top Gun, I'm trying to get a good picture. There it is. Attractive enough. She did have a double chin in the movie.
Just a little one.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, how old is she? She's 65. She's pretty old.
I didn't know she was that old.
She's older than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise is like 58, 59.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is. I don't think he's even that old. Oh no, he's 60. He's 60.
He's just got Scientology on his side.
Well, yeah, but didn't he hear all that stuff back in the day? He was on Matt Lauer's show, the Today Show or whatever, and he was talking shit about Brooke Shields. And she was taking antidepressants and all this stuff, and he said that's not what's wrong with her. There's no chemical imbalance wrong with her, and he got a lot of shit for it for years and years. Turns out Tom Cruise is right. SSRIs don't help depression.
What no help?
SSRIs.
With SSRIs.
So, whatever, most antidepressants are SSRIs, and you have to wean off of them over years because they fuck you up. I mean, you're on something. I don't know what you're.
I stopped taking
Oh,
that.
you stopped taking them?
You know what's funny, dude? So, funny thing. I was taking Paxil and antidepressants. Wellbutrin is what it's called.
I think Wellbutrin is one of the SSRIs.
Anyway, I was taking it for a while. I never felt any different from it. So, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I took it for a while, like 2 years. I was like, I'm just going to stop taking it. And I thought something would happen. Nothing ever happened. Never felt different. Like, it was almost like a placebo.
Yeah.
It was almost like it wasn't really anything, and it was just like a trick. Never felt different when I took it or when I stopped taking it. Never did nothing.
It is, because it is a trick, because the SSRIs, things like that. What happens in your brain is natural. Whatever is going on with your brain, that's natural. Whatever it is. But you take a medicine. Most of these medicines are blockers. When they go into your brain, they block some receptor in your brain. So when you're blocking something, it causes you to be depressed. So you're building up a tolerance. So your brain goes like this. So all of a sudden, think of it like a weight scale. You usually get a little bit of this and you get a little bit of that, but this blocker comes in and comes in. So now all of a sudden, this weight scale is like this in your brain. And one's way higher, and you get this, and you don't have that. And that's what they think causes you to be depressed. But then when you get off the antidepressants, it takes years to really balance yourself because you're supposed to be right here. But after you take that, if you get off the thing automatically really fast, what happens is your mind's like, fuck. Like all of a sudden we don't have anything here. And so they fucking build this shit up so you go on a fucking imbalance and it makes you fucking crazy. And your brain goes fucking insane, and you have all kinds of fucking health problems.
I guess I was lucky and never had any of that. The Paxil, which is, I'm almost immune to it. I already know I'm pretty soon I'm not going to be able to take it anymore. But I'm at the highest dosage right now. All the Paxil does is you have, and they explain this to me, and it makes sense to me, is you have like a threshold of what your tolerance to anxiety is at, and what the drug does is it makes your threshold higher, so that you can handle more or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, for me, all it literally does for me is it takes the very slightest edge off of my anxiety. So like, where like if I feel like I'm going to be pushed over the edge to where like I'm going to stab somebody to death, it literally all it does is take that very small little percentage off.
It's where you just don't have the knife in your hand.
Yeah, that's all it does. But the problem is I'm almost completely tolerant to the drug. So what I do, and I don't tell the doctor I do this, is I don't take it every day because I don't want to be immune to it. So what I do is I wait until I wait until like
Feel
what?
urge coming on.
No, I wait until I start to physically withdraw from it. I can feel physical problems from it, and then I'll take it. But then what happens is what I do is when I start to feel extra anxious, I take more of it. That way, when I really need it, it works. So it's like I can choose when I need it.
Yeah.
Where like most of the time, what people do is they take the same amount every day, and it just keeps you at a certain level every day. I don't do that. What I do,
When you feel the tolerance, you're just looking to hit that.
yeah,
It's the same thing with drugs. Like if you're taking mushrooms or taking anything,
yeah,
like you get that experience the first time, and the rest of the time you're chasing an experience.
yeah. I don't do that though. What I do is I keep it to the lowest level as I can, so that when I really need it, I can take the medicine, extra of it, and it takes the edge off. So it's different for me. I don't know, but eventually I'm not gonna be able to take it anymore, and that sucks. But whatever, we'll see what happens. Yeah, pee.
Doing a commercial. Yeah, I don't take shit. I don't give a fuck about anything. Ibuprofen don't work. Tylenol don't work. Nothing works. Fuck it. Vicodin don't work. I've had fucking. You remember when we lived in the apartment together? I would take like 4 Benadryl, 2 fucking muscle relaxers, and drink, and I'd still be half awake. I'd be like, I'd have to literally shut my eyes, and then finally fall asleep. But if I didn't shut my eyes on purpose, I would not fall asleep. Like, none of that shit works. It's not for my brain. My brain's like fucking. There's like so much fucking shit going on all the time. Like if I hadn't been hit in the head so many times, I honestly think I would be like a super genius of shit.
Carol Baskins.
And I still think that way. The problem is just I can't get it out. Can't get it out. Things I think of. It just doesn't come out. It's like trapped in my brain from all the head trauma I've had. I've had a lot of head trauma. Too much head trauma. It's like I was a football player that barely played football. Oh, that professor.
Dave does.
That's what Dave does. Yes, that's true. I wonder. I don't know why it won't let me
Dave, we're still putting you in that
edit
hole.
this out. So I don't know how much time we've been recording.
Dave, we're putting you in that hole.
Putting you in the fucking hole, Dave. Goddamn.
You're gonna get skinny, and then we're gonna get your Peter sucked out.
I'm trying to get skinny right now. Me and you be skinny together, and we'll fucking pull a circus seal act on these fucking prostitute whores. Prostitute whores, I mean, all these bitches.
Man, Bob, you looking good today. Go down on you like a fucking circus seal. Oh, sick. I hate men. I love women. I love women. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, you ever had your ass cracked licked by a fat man in an overcoat? Yeah. But seriously, Dave, we're going to put you in the hole. And you're not going to like it, but it's for your own good. We're going to have a room, and there's going to be one hole in the wall. That's just big enough for a normal sized man to fit through. We're gonna have a toilet in there, and we'll have a wall so you can have privacy. No one will see in there. You're gonna have a bed. You're gonna have access to water, and we'll have some exercise equipment in there. And
Why haven't you called me?
what?
Why haven't you called me, Dave?
Yeah, and
Called you, left you messages. Come on.
we're gonna seal you up inside the room, and you're gonna stay in there until you can fit through the hole in the wall.
And I wanna. I don't know. Forgot what I was gonna say.
Then once you fit through the hole, you're gonna have lots of extra skin. We're gonna get that surgically removed. We'll probably get donations from people that view the show, and we'll use that money to get your skin removed. And then we'll also use any of the money that we have to get you a hooker at the bunny ranch. Get your pole slobbed down.
I'm not sure if the bunny ranch exists anymore, but
It does.
there's other places.
I looked it up. It does exist.
The owner died a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
So I'm not sure if that one. I mean, no, it's still there.
Let me look here.
But there's other ones. There's plenty of other ones.
Excuse me.
In Vegas, prostitution's legal anyway, so you can fuck whatever the fuck you want to fuck. I don't care who you want to fuck. I would pick multiples. Just go, hey, I got $1,000. Let me get a tray, a menage a quad.
Yeah.
Menage a quad.
Let's see here. Looking it up right now. Bunny.
Quado. That's why they call him Quado on Puerto Rico. Because he liked to menage a quads. Quado. There's a girl with the 3 tits.
Yep, it still exists.
I don't know who owns it.
No. Moonlight Ranch.
I don't know the guy who owned it.
Dennis Hoff.
Dennis Hoffman. Dennis Hoff.
But anyway, we're gonna do that for you, Dave.
We're gonna do it. I don't care. I mean, at the very least, you need a big mouth around your fucking dick
Around your pee-pee.
hole.
You can't be the 41-year-old virgin.
Yeah. I mean, you already made it to the movie, unfortunately. And that was a story too. I don't remember if I told that on the pod or not. But the story where we were at the bar and we had this friend. I'll just call him 2J.
I know who you're talking about.
2J, and he was married when he found this chick. And, we ended up going to her house, me, Dave, and this 2J character. And 2J was like, I got a picture of it afterwards. And 2J was like, I'm going to fuck this girl, but Dave, I'm going to tap you in so you can have sex. And we were there. And 2J didn't really honor his thing, but he did call Dave into the room, and Dave put a little 2-finger shove down in some holes. So Dave got a little 2-finger action at least. And we were supposed to go get condoms. So we left and we came back with the condoms. And that's how that turned out. And then you get the little 2-finger thing. And then it didn't turn out good. Funny thing was her refrigerator was filled with Coronas because our regular Coronas are like the little Coronas, the little bottles. And I drank all of them. I drank every single one that was in there, and then I was like, that girl's really short. I was like, well, they got like shelves in the bathroom, so I took everything in her bathroom and I put it as high as I could put it in the bathroom because she didn't get the poontang to my boy Dave. And then we were searching through her shit. She had like a thing with pictures in it, like a cigar box type thing with a bunch of pictures in it. And it was like a dollar bill in there. And I took the dollar bill and I was like, I wrote on it, I was like, how does it feel fucking a married man? Or something on the dollar bill, and I shoved it back in there. So at some point, people would be going through it, and then they'd pull out that dollar bill and be like, oops. No one saw that. No one saw that.
So, was it the girl didn't want to bang Dave anymore?
I don't know. Either way, it's still bad.
Yeah. Or was it
I
Jason?
felt,
Was
plus she had like 2 gerbils, too, and I was feeding them the beer. Putting the beer in the drink. I forgot about that.
Was she attractive at all?
She was okay, like 6, like little chubby, pretty, fat. I think she had fatter titties, like 6, maybe a 6.
How old were you guys at the time?
Fuck. It was probably. Well, it was during my away series from having a baby, so I was probably 21 or 22, 23, somewhere in there, 22, 23 probably.
So I could have lived with you at the time.
No, we didn't live together at the time. It was before that. Before that. When we lived together, we had Cole's 3rd birthday. So Cole was 3.
Yeah.
So I was 23, between 22 and 23 when we lived there. So I was between that area, but it wasn't a big time. It was like a 6-7 month period where I didn't live anywhere. I just lived with people and I banged chicks.
Wow. Muchacha.
Yeah.
It's important to tell people muchacha.
Yeah. That's where I got most of my prime banging. And there was a pussy hole and I was within feet of it. Normally I fucked it.
I haven't really had sex with a lot of women, honestly. Probably.
I didn't think of a lot. 12 or 13.
Probably around 9. I don't know how many exactly. Let me think. Mm, 9.
Could be more if I tried, but I had multiple times where I built like I already slept with somebody and then I knew something was going south, so I just slid my way back into an old situation with several different.
That's one thing that I do that,
But it's easy, that's why.
yeah, I do is like,
Comfortability.
yeah, instead of looking for new things, I always go back to the old things
Yeah.
that I'm comfortable with, that I know.
So technically, like my numbers could be, 20 or something, but I mean, it is kind of different. Like you get with a girl that you were with several years before, and they act different, and sleep with you different, suck your dick different, all kinds of different stuff. So there is different aspects to it. And I used to have sex different. Like, when I was young, I was like trying really hard to like give a girl an orgasm, so I would like do weird things, like have weird sex, like I don't know, like laying myself out, like trying to get girls squirting on me, things like that. But nowadays, I don't care as much about that.
I like, for me,
I've had such shitty experiences since. Like, it's not fair that I can give a girl an orgasm, but I can't have an orgasm because there's a chance that I could get them pregnant. So I just don't do it. It's been many years since I've had a real orgasm because you just can't do it. If you do it, it's trouble. whether you have a condom or not. So that's why I want to get a fucking vasectomy.
That's what I
want.
want.
Spermies. And then I won't have any problems, and I can just have normal sex.
I'm gonna wait until after Christmas, and then I'm gonna do it.
Krimbishwim.
Krimbishwim.
Get the swimmers to not be on Krimbis anymore.
It's my Krimbishwim present. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny because like with me, when I was younger, I would do all like this crazy stuff to try to get women off, and now like it's more like a tease that I do. The more you tease them, and the more you tease them, and the more you tease them, then after that, when you do actually have actual sex, it doesn't really take a lot to get them off because they're so anticipated.
Sometimes it just depends.
Depends on the woman, I guess.
I dated a girl named Trisha that, and she said she never had an orgasm from a guy before. And it was very difficult. I tried really hard with her. Go down on her, fingered her, had sex with her, all kinds of stuff. She just didn't. The only way she could have orgasms was fingering herself. Just nothing I could do. I tried really hard.
The last girl I was with,
She had some fat titties.
the last girl that I was with, you know who. It was like too easy to give her an orgasm. It was like, and she would just have multiple ones.
Danielle's dead now, so I can talk about her. That's how Danielle was. But I don't think she ever had a real orgasm.
Yeah, it was like hard to tell how real they were for me too, because like I don't know, but
She'd be like, when she'd have an orgasm, supposedly she'd be like,
yeah,
that was the sound. Like, that's not an orgasm. I guarantee you. Like,
no, like the girl I dated last, she didn't do that. She would like react to it, but at the same time, it was just like, really, like I'm barely doing anything.
that I remember. When we lived in our apartment, my brother came over and he had that one chick. Do you remember Kristen? Fat chick you dated.
Who,
They came
Steve?
over to our house.
Don? Kristen.
Kristen.
No.
But anyways, he stayed in our apartment. He was in the living room, but I was in the bedroom next, so I could hear him having sex next to the living room. And I remember, I think she was like that. Like, I feel like she like was so attracted to him that she got off in like 2 seconds, and he was like, "Oh, I haven't even got off yet." But some women are like that. Like when I dated Rochelle for the first time, and I would have sex with her, she'd squirt all over me and shit, and that wouldn't even be close to done. It was so easy. Like all that shit, she was just so attracted to me for some reason back then. Like she just.
I just remember she was the turtle.
Yeah.
She reminded me of the turtle.
And you were the one that talked to me into dating her.
I don't even remember that.
Because her name, I put her as Beer Girl because she drank beer.
Yeah.
As her profile. So, you know, should I date Beer Girl or should I date? And then the other one was Danielle.
Yeah.
That I ended up dating later.
They
were both awful.
I just loved remembering. I know I've brought up a million times, but I'm talking to you. She interrupts, and I was like,
But I suck his dick.
yeah, and I was like, if I can care if you suck his dick, I was like, I'm his cousin, and she was like, you don't let him talk to me like that, and you were like, huh.
What am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't suck my dick.
I was like, you're just a dick sucker. I'm the cousin.
That's what I think, technically. It's hard to say on TV, on the internet, but I think that's the only time I ever cheated in my life. It's not really a cheat, but I was with her after I was with Deb. And I'm pretty sure we were technically still together at the time. She gave me a blowjob. I think that's the only time I did anything bad in my life. as far as like cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, I slept with 2 girls or 3 girls at one time, but we were like serious.
It's different when you like for me, I've done stuff with multiple women, but I was honest with all of them and told them that I was seeing other women. So I don't think that's cheating.
Yeah.
But as far as cheating goes, I've never done that. And
I had the opportunity. I don't know if I told that story when I was with my son's mom. Originally, we were living in South Haven, Michigan, right by the beach in an apartment, and there was a house across from us. She became friends with them. I didn't talk to anybody. I never fucking talked to every fucking body. I always did. And, she was friends with them. They were like drug fuckers, and we would see them. They would pile the trucks up with a bunch of shit. They would like take it and like sell the shit. Like they were stealing shit out of Goodwill boxes and shit, like piling up and then selling it to people. And that's what the house was. And I went in there one time to get like a laundry basket back from them or some shit. I don't know. But I went back or whatever. But we had a laundry room outside. We were literally across the street from them. I went out, and there was a hot ass chick. And she was really fucking hot. Really gorgeous chick. And she was fucking on drugs as a motherfucker. There were windows there too. To our apartment and the people next to us. There was just 4 apartments upstairs and downstairs. There was a washer and dryer outside in the back of the unit. And then kitty corner from that was where they lived. And I was doing my laundry and she came. She was like trying to do her laundry at the same time or whatever. She's like, it's okay if I do it. Like, I don't give a fuck. And then she's like, you want to have sex right there? And I was like, what? I was thinking about it. I was like, obviously I do. She's hot as hell. There's windows right here. We're right here. She's inside the house with my son. That's newly born. What? I can't imagine. Like, I was like, mm-hmm. And then overcome with me is she's like, oh no, sorry, I'm sorry I asked you that. Like, I'm sorry I asked you that. After all, I was like, I couldn't answer her. Like, yeah, I should have done it.
yeah.
And then it turned out that years later that she fucked around on me. So.
Yeah, that's just like when I was with my daughter's mom.
I'm a nice guy.
I took my daughter to the park. My daughter started playing with a little girl, and the little girl that she was playing with, his mom, came to talk to me. She was very attractive, and she made a point to let me know that her baby's daddy was in jail, and that her kid needed a playmate, and that we should exchange numbers so our kids could play together. And I denied giving her my number because I didn't want my daughter's mother to get upset. And then not long after that, I learned that my daughter's mother was cheating on me. So I could have probably had some fun, but no, too nice. I'm too nice of a guy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't regret that I'm not a cheater and I haven't cheated, but it's still frustrating to know that there were opportunities where I could have enjoyed myself, and I didn't. I was saying to somebody who did the same thing to me.
Yeah, I'll defend my position too about when I get the blowjob. Like, I didn't ask for the blowjob for one. She just kind of took over and did it.
She fell in.
I need a blowjob.
She fell and it went in your mouth.
Yeah,
in her mouth.
Pretty much how. I mean, no, she pushed me over and opened my pants and decided to do it. But the thing is that I'd already decided. I also told all my friends, because we were on like a pool team together. I'd already told my friends that I planned on breaking up with her. And before that, I don't know how many months before that, that person had told me that they weren't in love with me anymore. So that's when I already decided I was done with her anyways. I was trying to be nice and just go through like the holiday season and not break up with this person.
I mean, if they say openly that they're not in love with you anymore, I don't feel like it's cheating anymore.
It's not. And I was, you know, I was checked out at that point previously already. It's just, you know, it's just how shit works. I didn't try to get a blowjob. I didn't ask for a blowjob. I just go.
Yeah, look at these muscles.
I know.
Look at this. Hercules, Hercules. Yeah, we're getting strong. We're beefy.
You're fucking beast. Murder.
You're John Wick. You're John Wick mixed with Post Malone.
Yeah. I'm John Wick Malone Post.
Yeah.
I can still have a fucking Chevelle.
Yeah, we're gonna get you one though. Ichi Pamba. Oh. Yeah, man. There's lots of things I could have done different back in the
The
day.
video's messing up.
But guess what? We're still young and we can still do stuff. We're still young enough to enjoy life.
I hope so. I don't enjoy life at all. I enjoy taking life. I wish I could just take it. Just take
I
it.
take bugs' lives.
I know. I do that all the time.
Oh,
Every
yeah,
day.
spiders and things.
Fruit flies.
Flies. I take all
I work. I fucking murder fruit flies all the
the.
time.
Oh.
Spiders. I like to murder ants. But it doesn't make me any less joyful when I see an ant hill. I just smash the shit out of it just to give them more work. And there's bees at my work in the trash can because it's sugary.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 2 years ago, and I'm like, my shoulder's all fucked up, and I know it's already fucked up, but instead I take my boxes of shit and I sling it as hard as I can, like the best way. I'll throw like 60-mile-an-hour fastballs at boxes and throw it and try to kill as many bees as I can. I can't help it. Like, I could just throw the shit like normal and get done faster, but I prefer to fucking try to kill as many bees as I can.
I just think it's funny. I know I told you this, but the truck I had before the car I have now, it had been sitting for a while, and some bees had made like a nest in my truck, and I didn't know. And I went inside the truck, and I'm driving it. It was the first time I drove it that year, and I kept feeling this poke in my back, and I was like, "What the hell? What's poking me in my back?" And I kept feeling the poke over and over, and I go and I go like this, and I look. It's a fucking bee, or like not a bee, but like a wasp or whatever. But god damn it, and I smashed it. And I look, and it was like, that's what the poking was this bee stinging me over and over again. And like, all it felt like was like a poke in my back. And like most people, they'd be like freaking out and screaming and shit. And it literally, all it felt like on my back was like a poke. I don't know, like an itchy poke. Something itchy. Yeah.
Pokey. I want some poke.
Okay.
Poke. I think that's a fish, isn't it? Okay.
Who knows?
Okay, fish.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh, no, you can't disguise.
Finger my butthole, just finger my butthole.
Yeah, it's a Hawaiian dish, poke.
Just finger that butthole. Why are some guys obsessed with buttholes on women?
Poke is a traditional Hawaiian dish, and sushi originates in Japan. Hawaii food takes a lot of influence from Japanese food. Poke is Hawaiian. Traditionally, poke is made from ahi tuna or octopus taco.
Ooh,
It has been roughly cut into bite-sized pieces and marinated with whatever was on hand.
If a woman has a perfectly good vagine, why do you want to put your pee-pee in their butthole? I've never understood that.
No.
Why?
We've talked about it's an exit. Like, you don't enter in an exit.
The only thing I can think of is because the butthole's tighter and your pee-pee's little.
Yeah, but
So you're trying to get your little Peter in that butthole because it feels tighter because you got a little Kiwi.
You got a hand. You can make your hand as tight as you.
Yeah, why you
It's
gotta
gotta
put
be
your
in a
little
different
Peter in their
ball.
ball? That's gross.
Girls, honestly, not gonna enjoy it that much.
You know, whenever I think of that stuff, I always think back to when, for some godforsaken reason, I looked up the China sex video with X-Pac,
Oh, China.
and he's trying to put he's trying to put his little
Yeah,
Peter.
like a dick.
Yeah, he's got a dick
Tiny dick.
clit. Yeah, and he's got a little Peter. He's trying to get his little Peter in her dry butthole, and he's like, He's, and her butthole's too dry. Her butt, there's no lube. There's no lube, and her butthole's all dry. And he's like, It's like trying to get it in her butthole.
So hot. So hot.
It's not good. She had like her clit looked like a thumb coming out of her vagina.
Hey!
It looked like this. I got your nose. It looked, her vagina looked like your uncle saying, "I got your nose."
Ooh, got your nose. Your pretty nice nose. Big red nose.
Joe, the wild man,
Wow.
he's laying in my bed right now. You know why? Because I'm nice and I don't want him sleeping in my daughter's bed. So I put him in my bed so that I can spare my daughter's bed. And I'm going to sleep in my daughter's bed.
Just looking somewhere and just being still.
So tonight, when I go to sleep, I'll sleep in my daughter's bed.
And you're still talking with it. Did the other screen freeze?
We're like Weekend at Bernie's.
Wait, who?
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Don't put your
Tell me
finger-
lies, tell me
I keep thinking there's a hat on my head, and I keep going to grab my hat, and there's no hat. Dainty little carrots.
Showtime. Cats are weird. She's got one leg just down. What would happen if humans, like, instead of having arms, it was still receptible like ours, but it was kind of semi-stiff, and we still had to use our arms as legs, kind of?
It's silly.
What would we do? We'd be like, who knows? We're silly creatures. And we know that aliens are real because the Pentagon proved that. But what do you think about aliens? Said they've been proved to be real. The Pentagon says that things that they found have been not from this world.
I mean, I believe there's aliens. I don't know.
But are they aliens? They can submerge into water from what military people say they've seen. So have they been here all the time? Are they us? Advanced? What are they? And the pyramids. Pyramids were built over structures that were already built over 12,000 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's always the possibility that there was already intelligent civilization way before we existed, and that shit happened and whatever.
Just don't have records.
Yeah, I don't
Even
know.
our records. There was a place, I forget what it's called. Pardon me. It's called drinking. I don't remember shit, but there's a place that had records of everything. And they burned it down. And there was records previous to all this stuff. And there's also the Catholic Church. There's a place called the Vatican where they got all records of all kinds of old shit at a library and shit in the basement. Who knows what the fuck they have? Scrolls, all kinds of shit that nobody knows about because they're just busy protecting child molesters. When we find out what that is, maybe we'll find out some more information. But there was Samaritan text, Dead Sea Scrolls, all kinds of shit that we did find. That says that there were smart civilizations more advanced than us, and pictures that show the aliens did exist and things, and just weird situations. How they built the pyramids, you know.
I keep trying to grab this hat. That's not on. I keep going.
Well, it's like me. I've had my contacts in, and I'll be working and just working, and I'll just go like this. And, I haven't worn a fucking pair of glasses in months. Why am I still pushing my glasses up?
But as far as let's say this, as far as intelligent life forms other than humans go, I'm gonna say it's almost impossible to think that something like that does not exist. As far as them making contact with Earth currently, right now, I want to say there's probably a 50% chance that that's happening. Part of me wants to say that some of the stuff that the government and the media, the military stuff, what they're putting out, part of me wants to say that that's not true, that that's put out there for whatever reason they want to put out.
Technology.
What's that?
Just to hide their own technology.
That, or just for whatever reason to distract
We
us.
know, like Russia, we don't have the technology where Russia has hypersonic missiles.
Yeah. And like it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe anything that's given, any information that's given to us as a public to begin with. It's hard to believe any of that because you have so many different factors. You've got, them wanting to distract us from whatever is really happening. You've got them wanting to push us in a certain direction. You've got all these different factors, and it's just like, it's hard to believe what they say, So, but I will say, I do believe that there is other intelligent life out there. And I think that it's visited us before. I think it knows we exist, but it's hard to believe. It's hard to know what is real and what's not real as far as like what's visiting us right now.
It's hard to understand, but a lot of people are saying like it's possible there's trans-dimensional.
Yeah, it could be.
To where, that's what psychedelics are. When you think about a mushroom, I don't know if we talked about this before, but a mushroom is the only other plant on Earth that also breathes oxygen. And the spores that come off of the mushroom can survive in space. Whereas we can't. We just go out into space and we get destroyed. But the spores from a mushroom can survive in space. So did mushrooms come from space? Maybe it's an alien's way of sending us signals. And the people who do mushrooms, maybe they don't even realize it, but they do mushrooms and they all of a sudden think they see aliens or they have like a trans-dimensional communication with them. Something weird shit like that. Who knows? I don't know. But they have. I've talked about the trees, how the trees can hear and see, because plants prove that. Sounds prove that. The plants are intelligent, all kinds of stuff. And if the mushrooms have a relationship with the plants, then they have a relationship with feces and decomposition of feces and decomposition of animal matter, and they have a relationship with the trees to create these biospheres that make all kinds of weird shit and psychedelics. Maybe that's the bridge to get us to a new universe, but we don't understand that because scientists can't understand that. A, because they haven't done it. B, because it's illegal to do studies on a lot of that stuff. And C, because they haven't experienced it themselves, so how can they do any kind of study on it?
Well, that's also like there's a documentary I watched called Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
I don't know what's
Okay. Well, there's a guy that's on there. Basically, he believes kind of like the dimension thing, but he believes that if 1% of the entire world were to accept that there were beings outside of this earth and just think mentally about trying to contact them, that we would be contacted like openly by extraterrestrials, and then in the documentary, who knows how real it is, but they have videos and pictures of them making groups of 10 people where they go out into the desert and stuff, where all they do is mentally all try to communicate with these extraterrestrials, and there would be sightings of ships, like UFOs, as soon as they would like telepathically like try to contact these other beings.
They weren't high on anything?
No, as far as I know, you know what I mean.
I don't think that's real.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I said, it's almost for a fact. Like what I know for 100% is there's no possible way that we're the only intelligent life forms in the universe. No. There's no possible way. It's not possible. I don't, other than that, I don't have much concrete evidence to like say that right now, currently, we're being contacted by any intelligent life forms. I think that we have at some point. I think at some point in our existence there's been contact, but as far as like right now, I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an opinion about that. You know.
It's crazy. I don't know. There's just a lot of weird things like I said. When you look at nature, you see things like obviously the ocean has shit that we can't see. We won't see for a long time. You go to the bottom of the ocean, who knows what's down there? Yeah. It's just shit like that. And the same thing with above. You get above, you can't know what's fucking up there.
Well, it's funny too, if you think about it too, is like people think of things in like such a primitive way as far as like size goes. They think that like they just put too much thought into like the sizes of things, and like if you really think about it, like the smallest thing could be just as intelligent or more intelligent as us, and we could not even see it. Like there could be beings among us living wherever, and we wouldn't even see them because they're so.
That's what's weird about the entire galaxy. I mean, we talked about that on the podcast already. That I feel like, you double something in size, anything could be as big as forever. You can never imagine it. But you could also split something in half, like the Earth in half, and just everything in half forever and ever and ever and ever. Thing about splitting it in half, guess what? There's always another half.
Yeah.
Forever.
People like
we don't even understand.
Yeah, there could be beings among us right now that are so small that have always existed, and have been here as long as we've been here that just choose, for whatever reason, not to let themselves be
The
known.
thing is time. Like we perceive time as we see it.
Yeah.
Because we see time, okay? We see it this way. But if we were so much smaller and it took us 40 fucking years to draw from one board on this floor to the next board, that might be an entire lifetime for somebody that's so small that they can't see. So things should, like I said, like we might be one thing, but there can be so many interdimensional things that there's small things that happen. Like in the crack of my hand,